into shapes and forms. Once again, as usual, with the, all that entails. Today we're going to play Rush Rover, and then we're going to try to play Space Moth DX after that, which is going to be fun because I didn't have the time to test that. So, hopefully it works. And, yeah, I can try running Rush Rover in full screen, because I don't need the entire thing up. Let me see, did that bork anything, or are we good? Can you
The rest of the screen is white.
Yeah.
That's weird. It seems to be streaming okay, but you guys can't, Is this about a laser dog, or what?
Are you doing anything on screen or no?
I have the game up, but that's it.
Okay.
So you guys can still see the game, okay?
It's stuck on language English, and your cursor is just in one place.
That's weird.
Oh no! Now you're moving around. Okay.
You're good.
Screen looks fine. Okay, which is taking a second to catch up, I guess. All right. Regarding the laser dog, I don't know if he's a dog. Yes, I'm fine with starting a new game. He's like a robot man.
Is the game playing right now?
It is, yeah.
Oh, I don't see that.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, that's weird.
Guess the full screen doesn't work entirely 100% with Discord's screen sharing stuff.
I guess not. I can try. Let's see here. Window. Okay, it's either a window or it's full screen. Can I resize the window? No, that would be far too convenient. Well, I guess we'll just have to play in the smaller window for now. Can you guys see it now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Perfectly well.
That's a little weird. But
oh yeah.
Oh well. Hopefully
we're seeing it in full color and living color on NBC or whatever.
They could just watch it on the stream. Yeah, the reason we do the Discord stream share is because there is not nearly as much latency as there is with Twitch.
We do it live here.
We'll figure that out at some later date. I'm sure there's a way to make that behave. I just don't want to waste any more time. It's weird being able to just look over and see the chat, even though I don't actually have the chat up.
Shooting robots.
Yeah, I actually haven't played this game in a good 3 or 4 days, so I'm probably pretty rusty. Been playing a lot of Duke Nukem lately, which there's not really a reason for. I just started playing it the one day, and now I guess I'm going to try to finish the entire game.
I find it weird that you would be rusty at it with only a couple days of not playing it. Whereas I would think that would be more a problem after a month or two.
Yeah, but this is one of those games. The control scheme is a little bit idiosyncratic.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's understandable, yeah.
My only reference for this kind of game is Hyper Princess Pitch. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Yeah, arena shooters are a NES era invention, I think. The first one that I know of was Smash TV. And then recently
it's by the EG person, Hyper Princess Pitch.
Oh, that's a video game that I've been meaning to get back to. EG. I don't know how it's pronounced.
How's it spelled?
IJI. I don't know if it's actually Japanese or just fake Japanese. I don't actually know. But
Okay.
the developer's from like Canada, I think. So I don't know. Anyway, that is a game that I have been meaning to give a second look, because I played it when it was pretty new and I really didn't like it, but you know, my tastes have changed fairly drastically over the past few years, so maybe I would like it more now.
I remember hearing about it a lot over on TVT.
Yeah. It was pretty popular there and, like, other internet places. I think the fact that it was freeware kind of prevented it from being a quote-unquote success, but it was fairly popular for a while.
I mean, I don't know, I can see... I mean, I guess it depends on how you define success.
Yeah, what I just mean is, like, I don't think you get it on Steam or anything, so you had to, like, go to the guy's website, and that was kind of, like, a weird transitional period for gaming, because I think that came out in, like, 2011. Where it was sort of still, like, there was kind of a barrier yet between, indie and mainstream gaming, which is kind of gone now.
Yeah.
And, I guess not a success isn't really the right way to put it. I just mean, like, if it had, like, come out a little bit later, I think you could have done, like, the Super Meat Boy thing. You sell it for, like, $10 or however much on Steam, and it becomes, like, a more of a, I don't know how you would put it.
Download an installer for Windows 98.
What? Is that game compatible with Windows 98? That wouldn't shock me too much. Pardon me. I agree.
Good IMO.
Indubitably.
Oh, hey, you know what I never did? I was, like, talking to some people earlier, and I told them, like, hey, I'll put a link in from a stream when it goes live in the Discord chat. And I just didn't do that. So let me go do that real quick.
Well, while you do so, I will go on ahead and mention my large development in my life that happened this week.
All right.
I wear glasses now.
Oh, wow. What kind of glasses?
Big, thick Wayfarers from Ray-Ban.
Ooh. Like John Lennon specs, kind of.
Oh no, think more so like the you know what, let's see, Rivers Cuomo from Weezer.
I was about to say, I am picturing you in Rivers Cuomo glasses.
Yeah.
Which are in turn kind of Buddy Holly glasses.
Yeah, him too.
I'm Buddy Holly and you're Mary Tyler Moore.
I had Elvis Costello in my head for some reason, but I can't remember if he wore those. Does he wear those? Yeah,
kinda. Like, they're definitely of a similar make, yeah.
But yes, those. Turns out I've been, like, kinda nearsighted as hell for the past, like, 4 or 5 years.
So, this is something that always trips me up, which is funny because I also wear, like, a pretty heavy-duty subscription, actually. Or prescription, sorry. It's nearsighted...
I'm subscribed to Glasses Magazine.
It's nearsighted where you can't see things that are close by, or where you can't see things that are far away.
Can't see things that are far away because it's nearsighted.
Right. I can never remember if it's called nearsighted because you can only see things that are close by, or because you cannot see things that are close by. So I always get the two mixed up.
English, for once, English isn't playing tricks on us.
Yeah. Then there's having an astigmatism, which is kind of a mix of the two.
Yeah. I have similar glasses. Mine are actually interesting because the lenses are two different thicknesses. Like, my one eye is much worse than the other one.
Yeah, that's a similar thing too. One of my friends actually they have for a long time like they don't wear their glasses very often because of just how awkward it can be, but they actually don't have binocular vision because of how bad each one of their eyes is compared to the other.
Hey. That's
like,
interesting.
So when they close one eye or the other, they get like a proper image, but like there's no depth perception unless they wear really odd prescription glasses.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, like,
and hey, we got the rebounding laser, which is a weapon I think I've only ever had like once before.
Hey.
Huh.
So my little sister just came into my room and like offered me a giant hunk of bread. Like,
tasty.
Like I guess Italian bread from like Carrabba's or so.
Hey Trevor, you want some bread? That's pretty good. You know that somebody loves you if they offer you some of their bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, we my family when we went out got like two. Well, actually, my mom and sister got one loaf of Italian bread. I didn't know that they'd actually gotten it, so I got a loaf of sliced bread, which is also confusingly called Italian bread, but is different, and then another whole loaf of Italian bread, and it's like, well, I guess we have two loaves of Italian bread now.
Sometimes
well, you can never have enough Italian bread.
You really can't, honestly. Like that stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff is multi-purpose. Anyway,
it really is.
What I was going to mention is like I really need to get new glasses at some point. When I bought these glasses, they were like kind of a dark red color with a striped pattern, and I bought them. Well, I didn't buy them. My insurance paid for them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I got these in, I believe, 2011, and I've now been wearing them long enough that they're so heavily sun damaged that they're now like this weird purple color, and you can't see the stripes anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
That being said, purple shade seems like a pretty cool look, honestly.
I actually do really like the color. I'm hoping that when I get new ones, I can find like a similar shade. I like purple in general.
Honestly, I think that like what you should do is you should get like a proper other pair of glasses, but you should have that as a backup pair and just get new lenses.
Yeah. Ooh, a laser beam cannon. I'll stick with the rebounder. I don't ever use that thing. Oh,
Dynamite with a laser beam.
More people in the chat. More redistribute the bread. Welcome to the revolution.
Oh. Yeah.
Cover one eye and marvel as you don't walk into... Are you guys arguing about, like, what depth perception is in my chat?
What?
You know, it's amazing. I didn't even recognize that my issues were so bad that I didn't like have proper depth perception, but like after getting them, I like have this. I told my parents that I felt like I got superpowers or whatever because it's just like.
Yeah.
Well, I was like that for years too, because I only got my glasses in I think 6th grade, and before that I just like couldn't read anything farther away than like a couple feet, and I just kind of thought that was normal, but no, turns out that it's not.
Yeah.
Like, there was a part of me that always kind of knew, but I never, like, actually was forward and admitted it to myself and then my parents until, like, just now, you know?
Yeah.
I got... Yeah.
My mom is, like, the same way, but the difference is that she's in her late 40s. And you cannot tell this woman that she needs glasses. I love my mom, but she's silly sometimes about some things. And we'll be like right next to a street sign, and she'll be like, "What does that say?" I'm like, "You really need to get looked at." Like, our insurance still covers glasses, so it's not like it wouldn't even cost any money. It's just
Yeah. That's reminding me
Just
of...
never had them, so...
That's reminding me of how my grandmother had a pain in her hip that she thought, because she refused to go to the doctor, she assumed it was ovarian cancer and rewrote her will.
Oh my.
And it turns out when she actually went to the doctor for the first time in like a decade, it was just a mild hernia.
Well, I guess that's better than the other way around.
Yeah. And it's like, but like she was assuming, well, I'm gonna die. Because she never bothered to go to a frickin' doctor.
That sounds like something my grandma would do.
Yeah.
And yes, my mom does drive, and yes, I'm well aware of the fact that that's not ideal. But,
Yeah.
you know, again, kind of can't tell her anything.
Yeah.
The jukes.
See, the secret with that kind of thing is you get someone that
I'm
person
too
will
Pluto.
actually listen to.
No, see, that's the problem, though, is that my mom doesn't listen to anybody.
Anyone.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, maybe if you got
problematic.
Pope Francis on the horn, we could get something going there, but other than that, I don't really know.
Oh, dear Lord. When you have to call on the Pope to get your mom to get some freaking glasses, you know you're in trouble.
Somebody pinged me on Discord. What is the issue?
Oh, no.
Oh, this is, something on the trigger cord. Nothing important.
Okay.
Their, weekly anime thing.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yes, the beloved at everyone ping.
Oh, no.
I actually don't really mind those. I think it's funny when people get, like, really bent out of shape about them.
I mean, I don't get really bent out of shape about them, but with, like, for some of the servers I'm on just kind of casually, I have shut that off like nobody's business, because there are... Every once in a while you get a small server where somebody just abuses the hell of the pinging.
Yeah.
At everyone pinging, and it's just like, stop.
Well, the funny thing is that you can turn that off, but I don't know that a lot of people know that you can.
Oh,
like,
no, I do.
No. I mean, like, the person that owns the server can turn it off for everybody else.
Oh, no, I'm talking about when people who own the server.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's another thing entirely there.
Heinz's, my little sister is right here, so I can't say what you said in the chat out loud, but Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Okay, Gene. Okay, what did Heinz's say? I can't see the chat.
It involved, Gob, friend of the channel, who is also the owner of the Trigger Chord server, and, him performing a lewd act upon Heinz in retaliation for using the at everyone ping.
Don't worry, she can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I know,
Okay.
but still.
Oh no.
Also, hey, Steam really wants you to know, Sredni, that your girlfriend is playing Hollow Knight.
Oh.
Or is that somebody else? I have too many friends who have, cat people as avatars on Steam. Somebody's playing Hollow Knight, and it keeps popping up on my other computer.
As far as I know, she does not play a ton of video games. She recently played One Shot and I think Creepy Castle.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe she liked Hollow Knight because of the look or something. I don't know. Somebody keeps playing Hollow Knight, though.
Yeah, could it maybe be, God, I don't know what games Epi plays.
It's not her.
Okay.
Because I know what her Steam avatar looks like. Actually, it might
Do
be,
you have names associated?
Yeah, I do, but I don't recognize the username either. Somebody's playing
What is
Hollow
the
Knight.
username?
Well, I don't want to say it just in case like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not a great
Fair
idea
enough.
to give out people's Steam names on stream.
Okay, fair
Stream
enough.
names.
Fair enough.
Also, I wanted to talk about my new computer and I just completely forgot.
I have, like, a weird thing that happened that I could talk about
Oh,
that
go
I
on,
wasn't
go
there
on.
for, but I heard about.
Go on.
Okay, so, sometimes, like, when, in the morning, like, early morning, when the
Yes.
dog needs to be taken out, my, mom or my sister will just let her out and, like, have it so that, like, they know how to somehow get her in to, like, eat food,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, so that she'll come in after, going off and doing her business and whatnot.
Yes.
So what happened was they spent, and this is like, they spent like the dog ran off somewhere, and they spent like an hour, both of them, trying to get her in. And what happened was, and mind you, so what happened was they found the dog. She ran up to the patio and wouldn't get off the patio because she apparently had 2/3 of a deer's hind leg that she had found.
Oh no!
Oh my
and
god.
she was gnawing on the porch.
Doggone no!
Yeah, apparently a deer had died, and she had found it and taken the lower part of its leg, which would be like a couple of feet long. And was gnawing on it on the porch in like 10-degree weather for an hour.
That's
Like,
certainly something, yeah.
Like, my mom at one point went out and saw her, like, like, growling playfully, but, like, attacking this freaking deer, like pinning it down and gnawing on
I'm
it
concerned.
while growling, and, like, look, and then, like, as she said, Riley, and then Riley looked up, but, like, made this weird noise, and it's like, and Mom's response was, okay, fuck you, and closed the door on her. And, like,
any story that involves anybody telling an animal "fuck you" is a good story.
Yeah, and then she just closed the door, and then came back like 20 minutes later, and she was ready to go inside.
Beautiful.
And
But
you know how cold it is out.
yeah.
So, like, oh my god, that dog is persistent.
But so like Christmas was this past week, I think. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys get anything interesting?
I don't think I got anything from anybody.
Oh.
Well,
now I feel bad for asking the question.
no, I'm fine. It's just, we po.
That's fair.
So, I generally, I also, like, so I'm not in the position to, like, get people things, so I don't really expect other people to get me things. And I'm, like, I'm okay with that, honestly. But at the same time, I do like celebrating Christmas overall, but we didn't really have a chance to.
Yeah.
Like, we intended to, like, get the house cleaned up a bit and, like, put up a tree or something, but, like,
Well.
Eh.
Yeah.
We celebrated by eating Chinese food and hanging out.
Hey, that's a good Christmas to me, honestly.
Yeah. We were originally not going to do anything this year for Christmas, but there was a whole rigmarole that I'll not get into because it's not really appropriate show discussion, but we ended up getting presents and stuff, and that was nice.
That's positive.
Yeah. Terry actually bought me the computer that I'm currently monitoring the chat on, so I now have two nice little laptops that complement each other pretty well.
So you've got, like, the real gamer setup now.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a laptop with a broken power supply and one with a screen that flickers now and again and concerns me greatly whenever it does that. I think that's just the kind of screen that it's made with. I don't think there's anything seriously wrong with the new one, but
Yeah. It's
although
just like, oh wow.
The funny thing about the Hewlett-Packard, which is the new laptop, when I got it, because it was bought from a refurbisher, when I got it, I hope she doesn't mind me saying all this stuff, by the way. I only thought about that just now, but when I got it, it was it had been cleaned, like, of data, both physically and of data. But whoever did the restoring process fucked something up because
Oh yeah,
it
this.
it didn't know, like, I don't have the best technical knowledge when it comes to this sort of thing, but my understanding is computers use something called a registry directory, I think, in order
Mm-hmm.
to like tell them what to do with various kinds of files. And
Yeah.
when I got Windows 7 or Windows 10, sorry, initially installed on here, it didn't know what to do with any kind of file,
Yeah, you said that
including,
it straight up didn't read executable
yeah, it
files.
was trying to open them in Internet Explorer, which that's not how that works.
What?
That's not how that works. I guess it just like defaults to IE if it doesn't know what else to do. But so
Oh,
I spent like a good 6 hours fixing that, and now it works pretty much fine. Although it has this
yeah.
weird, I'm told it's a feature and not like an issue, but it does this weird thing where the battery will charge up to 100% and then drain down to like 90, and then start charging again back up to 100. And apparently this is something that like a good chunk of Hewlett Packard laptops do, but it's not really standard otherwise, and I don't know why it's a
Yeah,
thing.
that's
I've
bizarre.
I have heard that like periodically draining the battery is like good for the longevity of the battery, so that might be why they do that, but it's just kind
Yeah,
of
I would have
odd.
figured. Yeah, I would have figured that it would be something related to keeping the thing in working order for a longer period of time.
Yeah, although I
Yeah.
wonder if, like, with certain other, laptops and things, that the reason why they don't do it is that there's, like, a different way that it interacts with the power supply and that sort of thing.
That could be
I don't.
true also. Like I did a test earlier cuz the Dell, the one that I stream off of, that battery is starting to go, and eventually it's not going to hold a charge at all. So I did a test earlier.
Ooh.
I took the battery out and just plugged it directly into the wall with no battery in it at all, and it still turns on fine, which tells me that the battery is like not actually crucial in the like for running the computer as long as you got it
Yeah.
plugged in. I don't know if the HP does something different or what.
Quite possibly.
Uh, the Windows registry, the centralized collection of configuration settings. Yeah, but the problem with my laptop was that it just like wasn't working, so it didn't know how to open anything. I did a factory reset, and somehow that fixed the problem. Then I had to spend another hour figuring out how to uninstall Cortana. I shouldn't say that too loud. It might fucking rise from the grave and ask me if I need help filing my taxes.
It appears you are playing Rush Rover. Would you like help?
Uh,
Oh God.
what I don't like about the I have a hang up
I
about
actually
go on.
find Cortana interesting because she's essentially like a defictionalization of the AI from Halo, which
Yeah,
is which is like
and
weird to me because all the other ones are just like your standard just name well, some of them are nameless but not all of them, just kind of generic voice assistant people.
yeah, it's weird. Um Also the symbol it uses to power on is very like Bungie marathon looking, and that concerns me greatly. But computer's gonna fucking tell me that it's gotten tired of opening doors and hijacked my spaceship. But
Rampancy.
that joke was pretty much entirely for CC. But anyway, um,
I'm just thinking like that it's going to hijack your spaceship, and suddenly your house is not going to be on Earth.
but I have like a hang up about voice assistants, which is that I don't like the fact that they transmit like user habit data.
Ugh,
Like
yeah.
I know, at least in Microsoft Microsoft's case, all they use it for is ad targeting, but I
But
still...
that's still questionable as hell.
That too, and also just like, I don't really want Microsoft to know if I'm Googling, for instance, like, how to get finger unstuck from faucet. Something like that, you know. I just don't think Microsoft, the company, needs to know about that kind of thing. I think that's between a woman and her spigot. And, you know, but I don't know.
That sounded very, something.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
Altruzine brings up in the chat that Cortana went rampant in Halo 5.
Yeah,
which
I know.
It's actually interesting because even though that's like a standard Bungie trope or whatever, that actually wasn't a decision of theirs. They did that only after Bungie had left the franchise in 343's hands. Yeah.
That was a decision by 343.
Also, speaking of voice assistants, one of my Christmas gifts was a Google Home, which kind of like shows my comfort with the very same thing that Jane is like really kind of
uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
uncomfortable with. Yeah,
it's irrational, and I know it's irrational, and I'm probably gonna have to get over it at some point because those things are only gonna become more ubiquitous. But
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to really get over it. But at the same time, like, I can understand why certain applications of that are convenient. But then there are other... I feel like it is more useful if it doesn't transmit your data to a third party.
Yeah, and somebody pointed out in the chat, you can, in fact, I think the setting is worryingly called deafen and blind. Prevent Cortana from knowing what you're Googling and what you say into the microphone, but I don't know. For one thing, I kind of don't trust that actually works. For another thing, it's just, if I don't have that on, I also then, like, kind of don't see 100% what the point of using it is.
Yeah.
Also, like, it defaults searches to Bing and stuff, and I don't care. Or, like, the version that's, like, not Bing, but it is still basically Bing. I forget what it's called.
Yahoo?
No, it's Microsoft's, like, integrated search with the Windows taskbar. I forget. They have a different name for it, but I don't remember what it is.
Oh yeah, that's basically just Cortana.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just reminded of how there is an in iOS full app based on the sort of add-on ghostery, which you know shuts off things like that, like trackers and so forth.
Yes.
Which its native search is DuckDuckGo, because that doesn't track you.
Well, did you hear the thing about the Ghostery mobile?
Huh. What did I hear? What did you hear?
Somewhat ironically, it tracks your search data and sells it to people.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there's basically no point in using it. I mean, I guess it lets you control to whom your data is sold, but I don't know, once it's out there.
Sure.
It's like a Matryoshka egg of who your data ends up going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh dear.
Hold on, I need to move myself closer to the table. My shoulder's starting to get hurt. There we go.
I use the add-on to, on my desktop on certain things, simply to, just kill as many ads as humanly possible.
Yeah, I use uBlock, which mostly works, but I don't even entirely trust that thing either.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of, in this case, less the... I can, understand that it's potentially whatever I do, there's going to be some degree of tracking.
Yeah,
regardless.
I mean, if
but at the same time,
yeah,
like I sort of appreciate the fact that it will just like certain ads run on certain things that aren't really effectively dealt with ad block
Yeah.
that can be killed by shutting off certain trackers.
Yeah. Also, I mean, people do bring up sometimes, and there is some validity to it. Like, you know, if you're that concerned about your privacy, just like install a Linux distro, which is true. But you know, I also value practicality, and most of the things I use a computer for are not supported by Linux.
Yeah.
Well, counterpoint: Chromebooks.
Oh yeah, those things.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Which probably track you even more than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. Do those is the Chrome OS a Linux version variation, whatever the term is?
Actually, yes.
That's weird.
Both
I guess
both
it's
Chrome OS and Android are both based on the Linux kernel.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
if you
That's,
use a browser on Linux, you're
contrary
still
to-
getting tracked. Yeah, I know, but that's what people say whenever you bring it up anyway.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of ANCAP arguments, honestly.
Here we go.
As long as you do not violate the NAP.
Exactly. But then, but what about corporate monopolies? Well, they won't exist with the free market.
That feel when you want to take a deep breath of fresh air, but your corporate overlord has cut off the air supply in your area for not paying its rent.
Just like GovCorp. GovCorp can, supply everything to you. And if you don't like it, move to another GovCorp area.
Even the phrase GovCorp sounds like it's from like a bad book.
I mean, it is, it's like Nick Land is a strange man.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot to talk about the other big thing I wanted to talk about, which was I got myself a new mouse.
Hey.
And
Cool.
It is like a grape purple color, and it has 5 buttons. Which is
why?
more than you ever realistically need on a mouse, but it was $10 and all the reviews said it was sturdily built, so I bought it.
Why 5 buttons?
I think the idea is you can map those buttons to things that you would need to to do in like a gaming context, but most of the games I've tried it with don't recognize that the buttons are there, so the utility
Lord.
is limited.
Something, I made a macro.
Sredni, this is a mold bug free space.
Ooh, I'll let you violate my NAP.
You do know that,
Just
I
replace
think
this
it's- I
game
think
over
it-
screen with Red Pilled by Mold Bug.
Oh god. But I mean, I'm just remembering Millie talking to me about, reading Nick Land and how savagely he owns Moldbug. Just repeatedly. It's like, this guy's clearly, this guy's clearly a wingnut, but he's clearly infinitely smarter than this person. And is just, savaging them.
Savage AF.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind
Also,
of wish I could pop open Paint 3D for a minute, but that's on the other computer. I don't have any easy way to do that.
Alack. But yeah, funnily, and also funnier yet is, before he really, did too many drugs while he was in Shanghai, Nick Land, was Code 9's thesis advisor.
Code 9?
Code 9, the
musician?
electronic music. Yeah, the musician, the electronic musician.
Why does the guy that owns, Hyperdub, have a thesis advisor?
Because he's actually, a serious, intellectual. I'm not joking.
Oh, that's weird.
Like,
I mean, I
I
guess it's
think he
kind of
did his,
cool, but it's weird.
I think he did his thesis on Afrofuturism,
Oh, that's interesting. That
and
actually
he,
is legitimately interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
yeah, and he did he's done concept albums revolving around those sorts of things.
Interesting. I have my
But,
extra buttons set to Stellaris shortcuts. I should try them with Paradox games because I could like map one to pause and unpause or something. There's also
hmm,
there's 5 main buttons. There's the 2 main clicky buttons. There's a scroll wheel and then there's 2 on the shoulder. And then there's also a sensitivity adjuster, which is unusable at anything other than sensitivity 3. But you know, the thought was nice.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to quickly like use the restroom and get a drink again because I drank all the tea that I had here. And then when I get back, we will play Space Moth DX, which is a very good video game.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sounds.
Sounds.
Sounds. Sounds in the distance.
Sounds.
Muffled hip hop in the distance. Oh dear lord. How old is that meme?
I'm not sure, actually. It's been around for a couple of years now.
Yeah, like, because it's based on closed captions, of some show.
Probably on Netflix.
I think it actually was from, like, you know, regular, network television.
You
And,
think
like,
so?
yeah, like, muffled hip-hop in the distance.
Hmm.
Because, like, it's a closed caption, not a subtitle. Like a conventional subtitle, that is, and like originally,
Yeah.
I think. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, hmm. Um, Although, you know, Netflix subtitles, native subtitles, are basically the same thing as closed captions, just generally without the explanatory stuff like that.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. Could be. But it seems like just slightly unlikely. I remember the screenshot it's from, I think. I half remember it. Like, but like, yeah, what the, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. You ever get, like, one of your own songs stuck in your head?
Yes, actually. Like, I was just listening to frickin' V3I a bunch last... Like, I can't remember if it was last night or a couple nights ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
My little
What was
sister says it was last night.
Oh. Huh. Hi, Trey's sister. Uh,
The little sister says hello.
Hello. What is Jane? What are you singing? Like, relatable because I do this a lot. Oh, hi, Shaggy. Hi, Cat.
Is it wrong to you somehow?
Oh no, that was a noise.
Thank you, phone, for letting everyone within a 30-mile radius know that I turned my phone on. There we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Whoa. That was a sequence of sounds. Oh no.
Vada Yogam. Oh no, Breaking Bad.
The thing was, your mic was picking up all kinds of, like, strange sounds from where you were. And at one point you were singing something that I didn't recognize because you were far away enough from the mic that I couldn't understand what you were actually saying, and I didn't recognize the melody.
I think it was a song from Mario.
Ah.
Well,
okay.
at one point it was Mountain Dew, the old folk song, which is actually about moonshine because that's what that used to mean.
Yeah.
And then it was the level 1-1 music from Super Mario World.
Okay.
And then I was messing with my phone because I wanted to take a picture of my really stupid-looking 2-laptop setup.
Yeah, it's just like, it was like really kind of wild.
Yes. Oh, I'm using the wrong computer for looking at Discord.
Oh no.
Space Moth. Hopefully this stream's okay. I didn't get a chance to test it.
Moth in space.
He's a space moth. A moth in space.
What on earth is going on here? It's mostly white and there's like a band of picture. What just happened?
Probably really, really loud for you guys. How does that sound on you guys in the chat's end? Current viewers, 1,300. No, that doesn't seem right.
That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'd be pleasantly surprised, but I'm pretty sure we don't have 1,300 concurrent viewers right now.
Are we being rated?
I don't know, I mean, unless, like, Nick decided to be super generous, I don't think I know anybody who regularly polls 1,300 concurrent viewers.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
So that's streaming okay. How does this look to you guys? You guys might have to...
That's a white screen.
You guys might have to switch to the stream for this one, because this does not look good in window.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, well...
There's gonna be a delay.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no what?
It's really loud.
Oh no. Alright,
okay,
I'm gonna check Twitch and stuff.
Yeah. Hold on. It turns down in the volume tray like an intelligent human being. There we go.
Alright.
What is this,
Oh, no.
and why do I love it before seeing gameplay? This is Space Moth DX. This is a shmup on Steam. You can go buy it with your money. I believe it is like $10? 15?
Oh Gigas. This well, there's an ad for something that has graphics. And now this.
Anyway, yeah, so what this is, like I said, it's a shmup, and the game is actually styled like an old arcade cabinet, meaning
Cool.
the action happens in this middle band here, and then you've got these two static pictures on the side, which are supposed to look like, the art you'd find on the side of an arcade cabinet.
Oh, cool.
Now, I've forgotten how to switch my weapons, which is a bit of an issue. Because there is more than one. Okay, it's shift. Alright.
Switching weapons is good.
Yeah, there's only two of them, so it's not like there's a ton of controls to memorize. But, yeah, so basically, it's a pretty straightforward game. You try not to get hit. You try to hit the other things. Sometimes there's bonus items that you want to pick up because they'll give you more points.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of bugs involved.
Yes. It's, salamander on acid, basically. It's a good game. This was, gotten for me by Yaren, I believe.
Cool.
Friend of the channel, occasional co-host, although he unfortunately hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah, I like having him on. He's fun.
Yes.
A
But
good egg.
so it goes sometimes. No, the egg is Cammy.
Well, I mean, proverbially a good egg, rather than the egg who is good.
Right.
True.
Yeah, so I'm sad that I didn't see Heinz's dubious comment. Oh no. Because I only got to actually see the chat, now, and nobody's said anything in a little while from when I, put in the chat, so...
Yeah,
I'm not in on the amazing action, unless, of course, I, watch the VOD at some point.
We're being, attacked by this giant green butterfly, but I've destroyed him, so it's all good.
It was
And
very
I'm gonna have to wait
large.
for that. Because, god damn you, Discord chat. Bye,
Oh my
Heinz's.
gosh, these colors.
Yeah, I actually really like how this game looks. It looks like something that will be spray painted on the side of a van in the 70s. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Maybe more
Almost-
than 90s, but...
I want to say 1980s progressive rock album cover.
That too.
Yeah.
Or you remember that fad for a while where school folders that had really pointlessly psychedelic art on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's-
Chopper Keepers and
That's
stuff. Yeah.
that's kind of what this reminds me of, in a very good way though.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's like that, if Lisa Frank got the brown acid.
I don't quite know what that means, but I agree with you.
Lisa Frank is known for, the rainbows and puppy dogs, and it's kind of trippy. And,
Oh, that person, okay.
and
Yeah.
then, brown acid is, what you'd expect.
Big ass Beatles.
But,
Now,
yeah.
the good thing
Oh.
about this game is that you can continue, I think, ad infinitum.
Question, Go-Go. Which would be the best insect-themed shmup you know?
There's a Japanese one that's pretty popular. I forget the name of it, though. It's like Mashishi or something?
Oh, yeah, not to be confused with Mushishi as in the show.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the show then. I don't know. I know one
No, but I know what
exists.
you're talking about. I know of what you speak. But yeah,
What you
Mushishi
speak,
the
you
show
know.
is really quite good.
I Am a Show. A show by Rock.
Oh, that was an anime that happened.
It was. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember the title.
It is they're animal girls, and they play in a band.
Okay.
Was it Idol Singer related at all?
Yeah, I think kinda, sorta. Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of remember
Oh,
this as well.
Mushihime-sama is the name of it.
There you go.
And it's apparently one of Gogo's favorite shmups, period.
Yeah, I've never played that one, but I have heard things about it.
Huh. Like, yeah, let's, yeah, you should, look into it, potentially. That could be interesting.
Perhaps.
'Cause
Although,
I just...
Go on.
I'm biased because I just like watching other people play shmups.
That's fair. The only reason
Don't knock your shit.
Yeah. The only reason I don't do shmups too often on the show is because I'm bad at them. And,
Yeah, but, like, as I said, I don't care!
you just die a bunch mostly, but that's okay.
Like, I mean, it is visually exciting to me. Oh, also, you finally killed that fucking beetle.
Yeah, you know. I also keep forgetting that I can, like, manually use my bombs. But,
You can what?
I can use my bombs, like, with a button press instead of just when I get hit. But I keep forgetting that I can.
So where does the space part come in? Because
I
all
don't
see
quite know, to be
are
honest with you.
gardens.
I have a feeling that probably, like, this is actually kind of a trope in shmups. Will be like the first half of the game takes place, you know,
In a normal-ish world?
like on the ground, basically, like flying over the ground, basically, and then the second half takes place in space. I assume that's the case here, but I don't know, because I've never gotten past this level.
Well, persevere, young Jane, and we shall see.
Fly to the sun, young moth.
Also, I gotta draw attention to the irony of me saying that because I'm like 2-3 years younger than you.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. We have an age difference on this show. People don't realize that. Trey brings the fresh, young, hip perspective.
And I am the oldest person on this show. Like, actually, like, I think I'm the oldest person who's straight up been on this show.
That might be true.
Like, yeah.
How old are you again?
Almost 26.
Right. Yeah, that's probably true then, because CC is only 24, and I'm 23.
Yeah.
21.
They were 19. No, 19.
Gogo says the ground is in space too, which fair point.
I mean,
Maybe this is like a
Currently
garden on a garden on Saturn or something.
Place his finger towards temple.
this is reminding me, well, if you mention on Saturn, that's reminding me of Clark Ashton Smith's short story, The Door to Saturn, in which a non-human sorcerer uses magic to create a portal to Saturn, and then hangs out with a giant toad god who is just sick of his family's bullshit, and so has been hanging out on Saturn because it's just chill.
Well, yeah, Saturn seems like a nice place. Lots of rings.
And
That's
the toad.
They
the toad's
say
name is,
that
the
it's
toad's name is
nice.
Izu Koimanja.
That's a good name. Did you know that
Because-
they say that it's nice this time of year on Jupiter, except for the meteors?
Except what?
Except for the meteors.
Yeah.
Is this a reference?
It's a lyric from a song by Mo, the band that I don't even really like that much, but
They're like a one of the better known jam bands, aren't
yes. Their best known song I think is about a lady beating up her abusive husband, but the song that I'm quoting is Nebraska, which is about Nebraska. And also
they?
Jupiter.
Okay.
Because Nebraska's so flat that I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think that's one of those songs I came across, like, via iTunes playlist in, like, 2010. So it's
what playlist?
an iTunes playlist.
Ah, okay.
They used to do those like iTunes Essentials things.
Oh yeah.
And some songs from those have just kind of earned a permanent place in my memory for whatever reason.
Yeah, I used to construct those occasionally and post them.
Yeah. Well, iTunes Essentials was like the ones by iTunes.
Oh no, I know. I was referring to like the unofficial ones.
Ah, okay.
And that was you know,
Ooh.
that like I think now that I'm thinking about it, that is kind of like the source of my you know, the earliest period of my music wrecking thing. Not wrecking with a W. Recommending.
Yeah, I mean that
wrecking,
was
So I started wrecking music with a W when I was like 13 or 14.
that was like a big point of formation for my musical tastes as well, because that is where I first heard about, among many other artists, Aesop Rock.
Cool.
They used to do this program called Single of the Day, where or like Single of the Week or something like single of some amount of time.
I believe it was week.
Was it weekly? You'd get a song for free, and one of the songs that they did was "None Shall Pass," off of the album of the same name.
Huh. Cool.
My big single of the week that I remember, like, distinctly is kind of embarrassing now because of how memey it is, but back when they did it for Fireflies by Owl City, my 13-year-old ass was obsessed. Like,
That's a good song, though.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's a pleasant song.
Back when I used to really like AMVs, one of my favorite AMVs used Firefly.
And I credit it for introducing me to the Postal Service and, by extension, Death Cab, because the YouTube comments for the video were like, "This is a ripoff of the Postal Service," which
I actually kind of don't hear it. Like, they're the same kind of music, but I feel like the Postal Service is a bit more
sad.
Yeah.
Wasn't
like overtly
also,
melancholy.
Yeah.
Also, the Postal Service, like, wasn't that formed by
Ben Gibbard from Death Cab?
Yeah, it's the Death Cab guy and then somebody else on the electronics. I don't remember who.
And who were they? Oh yeah, Dintel.
Jimmy Tamburello. Yeah.
Dintel.
Also known as James Figurine.
Okay, but I was gonna say is, like, who were they comparing to the Postal Service?
Owl City.
Yeah.
Owl City. Okay, that's,
the Firefly guy.
Yeah, I know Owl City. That's it's not a completely off-base comparison, but it's like, Owl City is way less, like, as you were saying, like, way less depressive.
Yeah.
Than, the Postal Service, and has just a different vibe.
I have a question for you guys. Could you believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as you fell asleep?
They fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You think me rude, but I'd just stand and stare.
Yeah.
You know that, when I think of, like, large numbers of fireflies, I think of a decidedly older song than that, which is, 100,000 Fireflies by, the Magnetic Fields.
That's not as many fireflies, though.
I know, but it's like,
so it's a worse song because there's fewer fireflies. That's how that goes.
Don't even joke.
10 million.
100,000 Fireflies is one of the best pop songs, like, period.
All they need to do is make a new song called, like, 10 quadrillion fireflies, and then it'll be fine.
But okay, like, but here's the thing, is, like, like, 100,000 Fireflies begins with, like, an incredibly dark line, but it's at the same time, like, it kind of pivots after that. Which is, I have a mandolin, I play it all night long, it makes me want to kill myself. And then it goes, I also have a dobro made in some mountain range. It sounds like a mountain range in love. But when I turn up the tone on my electric guitar, I'm afraid of the dark without you close to me.
My suggestion to that guy would be to maybe play a different instrument.
Yeah, it's sung by a woman, the original vocalist of the Magnetic
That
Fields.
lady, then. Yeah, I didn't know that they had switched singers at one point. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, like, I can't remember what her name is. She works as a silversmith now.
That's an interesting career change.
Yeah, she works as a dentist, part-time silversmith as well. Yeah, she's doing quite well for herself. Yeah, like, Stephen Merritt is, you know, the,
Are you guys, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, are you guys seeing the way that this beetle is just, like, fucking eating me every time?
Yes.
Obliteration!
But yeah...
There's a reason they give you a save point before every boss fight.
Heinz's saith, Stephen Merritt's ambitious new project, a multi-disc album of songs about amounts of insects incrementing by powers of 10. That is actually totally something Stephen Merritt would do. That's like...
Hey, if anybody was curious... If anybody was curious, friend of the channel, Glenn, is currently playing 100% Orange Juice on Steam. Just if anybody wanted to know. Steam decided to tell me that.
Huh. But yeah, like, 100,000 Fireflies is, it is probably one of my all-time favorite sad love songs. Like, the coda is genuinely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, like, and also, like, the melody is so poignant, is, you know, you won't be happy with me, but give me one more chance. You won't be happy.
Hello, Win.
Just like, that is the saddest song.
There's another one for the Sredni soundboard.
Yeah, just like, and it is nonetheless one of my favorite songs ever, period. Just like, at all. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to detract from the gravity of you talking about a song that you really love, but I'm just, like, very upset with this beetle.
Yeah, I understand.
He won't stop shooting me. And I would really like him to stop, but he won't stop.
I can't figure out which part of his head is his eyes.
I think there was a Night Gallery episode, I think the title was Stop Killing Me.
Stop killing me!
It sounds like something you'd say frustratedly to your brother while playing a game of Halo 2.
It's about, like, it is about somebody, like, who is, this woman comes to a police station and says, my husband is killing me, and what he's been doing is, like, psyching her out, saying, you know, I'm gonna kill you, Barbara, for, like, without actually doing anything, or even anything nefarious otherwise or unpleasant. He just says that every once in a while for no reason.
Wynn said that this game seems kind of buggy.
But yeah, like, it gets really weird because there's, like, the whole sympathetic magic element to it that gets really weird and unsettling while being, like, really darkly humorous.
I don't think I know what Night Gallery is. Is it like a Twilight Zone type thing?
It is a show that Rod Serling of the Twilight Zone did after Twilight Zone.
Oh,
It is actually an even darker version of the Twilight Zone that is also was originally like an hour long. So it had like multiple sections to it.
Interesting. My favorite Twilight Zone episode is still the one about the car that ends the Cold War.
I have not seen that one.
A guy that works in like a second-hand automobile shop gets his hands on a magic car that forces people to not be able to lie anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
The usual.
The show's just kind of like that if you've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's all kinds of odd stuff that happens in... Like, my favorite probably is the masks, honestly.
What about the one where the guy is just, like, weird and pointlessly cruel, where the guy's, like, the last man on Earth, and then he breaks his glasses at the end?
Oh, yeah. Time Enough at Last.
Hey, I did it!
Yes, okay.
I was genuinely concerned that we were just going to be doing that for
Alright, I
the
haven't
rest of
gotten
this
to,
segment.
like, that point in the story yet because delays. But, oh, wait, alright. And... Yes! Yes!
Yes.
Completion.
Oh yeah, To Serve Man is an interesting episode, as Altruising pointed out, despite it kind of getting, memified later.
It's a cookbook! It's a cookbook!
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you guys ever wonder, like, if it was a cookbook or not, though? I actually have a somewhat weird anecdote relating to the Twilight Zone. When I was in, like, 6th grade, our teacher really liked the Twilight Zone and would occasionally just, like, put it on in class. Just kind of because. But, like, yeah, but also, I don't know if that's something you should be showing to 6th graders. Especially, like, the more depressing episodes.
I mean, honestly, I think... I don't know, the Twilight Zone strikes me as not being, like, too out there, but at the same time it would go over to a lot of 6th graders' heads, is the problem.
Yeah. Also,
like, if you wanted something inappropriate, like, Night Gallery could get there, The Outer Limits could definitely get, like, absurdly fucking dark.
The Outer Limits.
Like, there was, like, the whole thing on way back on TV tropes where they had Twilight Zone ending and Outer Limits ending.
Well, yeah, to contrast the two twist ending styles.
Yeah, like, you know, the karmic twist and the oh fuck, that's brutal twist. And the Outer Limits was notorious even very early on, like, for being brutal in its twists.
Well, I guess I have my personal theory is that they did that because like they had to outdo the Twilight Zone somehow, and that was just like the easiest way to do it.
But I mean, they also like I really have I quite enjoy the Outer Limits. Like,
I've only ever seen like one episode of it, so I'm not really in a good position to judge it. But
it is similar. It just is it's longer and often like it does have a different bent to it. Like Harlan Ellison wrote a couple of episodes of The Outer Limits, actually. One of which was Demon with a Glass Hand, which the Terminator is based on.
Huh.
Like, he actually sued James Cameron over it. And won.
You know what else is you know what? It's another movie based off of an episode of the Twilight Zone in this case, and a lot of people don't seem to know this.
What?
This is not a joke. Real Steel.
Yeah. That one's based on
the robot boxing movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know that much about it.
It's actually
that one's based on.
Yeah, well, the episode it was based on was actually like super fucking depressing, but they like changed a bunch of stuff when adapting it to a movie. I actually quite like that movie.
Although it's a good movie. It's kind of cheesy, but definitely
although
fun.
It's been a long time since I last saw it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
But, like, you know, cheesy isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, cheesy can be good. Like, you know, decent power metal is incredibly cheesy, but it's fun.
Everybody likes a little bit of Parmesan with their spaghetti.
Yeah.
I watched the Magic School Bus episode in school, the bus space episode, which immediately killed my soul 5 ever. I believe I know what episode he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, the one where Arnold
takes his helmet off.
And fucking
Dies.
dies.
Like, actually is dead, yeah.
Yeah.
What a great show for traumatizing children.
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't remember very
also,
much about the Magic School Bus.
Monsters, I have not seen Witchy Win. I have not seen Monsters.
I can't recall if it's, like, the progenitor of every other instance thereof, or just the most famous example, but the Magic School Bus is probably the reason why a bunch of other, like, a bunch of other cartoons started this whole trend of going into one of the main characters' bodies.
Oh,
Like,
that's from a
reference
movie.
To a Fantastic Voyage, which is a film from the 50s, which is actually really fun.
I've seen that movie and I didn't like it very much.
I mean, like, I haven't seen it in so long, but, like, I found it amusing when I was a child.
I had a film crit class in high school and we had to watch it in that. Yeah. And I didn't like that one very much. There was a bunch of movies that we watched that I did like, and then there were a couple that I just didn't really care for. The original King Kong was another one I didn't really like very much.
Yeah, my mom really hates that movie.
I mean, it's kind of hard because it was like a special effects movie, but from
but I mean, she
how
hates
many
it
years
mainly
ago?
For the fact that they murder the giant ape, who is not actually totally evil,
but
and it's just kind of fucked up.
For you see me, I got King Kong in the trunk.
I know that song.
But
King Kong, King Kong.
Yep.
But okay, what was I gonna say? Like, but I think Magic School Bus was one of the first in, like, children's shows to parody.
Yeah, that might have kicked off a minor resurgence there, you know? You have one new item in your Steam inventory. I bet it's a card.
Is another film with Fantastic in its name that doesn't nearly get parodied enough is Fantastic Planet.
You know what? I actually was, like, almost positive you were going to say that. That's the one with the blue-skinned alien babies, right?
Yeah, and they have the giants and, like, you know that was based on, the screenplay was written by Roland Topor, who also wrote the novel that the film The Tenant is based on.
I don't know what The Tenant is, so
The Tenant
that's
is,
unfortunately lost on me.
The Tenant is one of the most notorious films by Roman Polanski. It is a very dark, kind of, it's like half dark comedy, half horror film.
So, hey, what do you guys think about this crab that I keep picking up? Yeah. But yeah, like,
King Crab.
I like, the thing about, like, The Tenant is it's like, the novel and the film is it's like a Kafka thing, kind of. It's about this dude who moves into an apartment complex and, like, everyone hates him for, like, no reason.
Mood.
Yeah, it's like, actually, I mean, it was partly a commentary on being an Eastern European immigrant in France. But it was also, like, he starts, like, everyone hates him, and he moves into an apartment where, which was formerly owned by a woman who, jumped out the window, and he starts becoming more and more like her.
Have you considered that...
Everybody loves a little bit of defenestration.
Have you ever considered that, I'm jumping out the window with this one?
Jumping out the window!
dear.
That song is amazingly terrible.
True.
I can't remember if Moebius was involved in Fantastic Planet. I think he was. Altruzi was asking.
Sredni, what is your opinion on Jumping Out the Window by Ron Browse?
I don't know it.
You do. You just don't know that you know it.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, Roland Topor is really interesting, is I guess what I was getting at. He, very strange, unsettling writer with a really weird sense of humor.
Maybe we should call this episode Roland Topor. But I don't know how to spell that, so...
Roland and then Topor.
What if, Roland Tapir?
That would be like a... Yeah,
That's his persona.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That's what I meant
Roland
to say,
Tapir?
yeah, there you go. Words are hard.
Oh, yeah, but,
Words are
yeah,
indeed difficult.
yeah, but yeah, part of the reason why I know a lot about Topor is because he was a big influence on Legati, who is a favorite of mine, I've probably mentioned.
Yes.
And,
I'm feeling pretty Legati-esque right now because I keep dying to these fucking dragonflies.
yeah, this is a different kind of cycle of, misery.
It's basically a metaphor for how, life is meaningless and we're all gonna die one day. That's what this is.
Although with, Legati, it's more like life is meaningless and is suffering, and, maybe dying isn't that bad, but...
Yeah,
it
again,
still sucks. But it still sucks.
pretty much exactly what's going on here.
It's maybe it's, at once preferable and still awful at the same time. So you don't get an out either way.
Yeah, that's
You
also
made
what's
the
going
small
on here.
crab a large crab.
I did.
Oh yeah, Altruzine, I think you would enjoy Roland Topor. He's really strange and uncomfortable to read.
I'm strange and uncomfortable.
Not in necessarily bad, just again, it's
Sredni.
like French Kafka.
Sredni.
Uh-huh.
Sredni.
Yes.
I said I'm strange and uncomfortable.
I don't know how to comment on that, Jane.
Crabs and eggs!
You see, it's a bit of a joke because, slightly...
Crabs, eggs, frogs, lily pads, dragonflies, moths.
Welcome to Floor 15. We've got firing dragonflies and lily pads and eggs on crabs.
Yeah. But yeah, Topor is one of those European authors who, until recently, a lot of his stuff wasn't translated, so so he wasn't much of an influence in the West, but, or as in, the Anglosphere, but, in, France, Eastern Europe, even, Germany, he was fairly influential. I think Dino Buzzati, took a few pages out of his book.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know who these people are.
Actually, I think Dino Buzzati was earlier. Dino Buzzati is a really strange author.
I mean, I don't think you can be normal if your name is Dino. You lose the ability to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what Dino, what the equivalent is in English, if there is one. Or what it's short for.
Dino.
I'm gonna have to look it up, honestly.
Dino!
Dinosaur.
Alright, the name Dino. Hello?
What?
Hello.
Oh, sorry. The sound seemed to cut off when I went to Chrome. actually.
You must collect the
It was just
crab.
because it was the background noise from Twitch because, you know, having the stream up and all that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna... what are you... Why are you doing this, tablet? Why are you doing this? My tablet is having a fit.
We are certainly a unique stream right now.
Dino.
You could not believe your eyes if 10 million dragonflies keep fucking shooting me as I'm trying to get through this area.
You know,
Fill the open air and leave Danmaku everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I'd just stand and stare.
Okay, the site cannot be reached. What the fuck?
Sredni.
Internet troubles.
Sredni.
Yes.
Sredni.
Uh-huh.
I'm strange and uncomfortable.
You just said that earlier.
I know.
Okay, it's short for, usually for, Bernardino.
What? You don't make a nickname out of the last part of a name. That's not how that works.
I mean, apparently it is.
Bernardino. I was really hoping it would be short for dinosaur.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, and it's also short for, Augustine. Oh.
That makes even less sense. Augustino starts with a, like, that's a T, not a D.
Yeah, but it becomes hardened when you cut off the front part. That sounds wrong.
I was trying to, like, figure out a way to turn that into a dick joke, but I couldn't. It's beyond my abilities.
But yeah, apparently, yeah, it's also used in Croatian.
This game is very hard.
Yes.
I got that impression, yeah.
Yeah.
But you killed the frog person, so we are making progress.
Nah, that guy died since then.
Aw.
Oh no.
Yep. They do let you restart at the beginning of every checkpoint, but you don't have any extra lives until you get enough score to earn them, and you don't get very much score if you keep dying over and over. Kind of a catch-22 in that sense.
A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes. So, do you guys hear...
Struggle.
You guys, hear
Hi.
about, what?
Oh, like, just Discord refreshed on me.
Oh, it does that sometimes.
Yeah.
So...
Yes?
So... Did you hear anything about this previous week in, anime announcements?
No.
I did not, other than, that there is the last chapter, the actual last chapter of Monogatari is coming out.
There was that, there was, and I guess this particular part is more like manga news, but, TQ is ending.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
And two very different video games are getting anime adaptations. One...
Are getting anime adaptations?
Yes.
What?
One is Yume Nikki,
Oh, yeah!
which is, I believe that's going to be based off the manga, but I don't know for sure.
Yes! Yes, because then there might be a full Alien 9 adaptation, and I'm just like, yes!
Yes, but, like, a Yume Nikki anime is, like,
Still, a
just,
huge
like,
fucking deal.
really surreal, because, like, I downloaded that game off of a wiki page in, like, 2008, and it's just really strange
Yeah.
that it's had such a long, like,
Shelf life.
long cultural tale.
Yeah. It's like, it is really influential in a really strange way.
Yes.
Did you know there's actually an experimental metal band called Uboa?
that doesn't really surprise me too much.
Yeah,
But the other game
that's freaky.
The other game that's being adapted is which is an obscure visual novel for the Sega Saturn that came out in 1996. And that is getting an anime next year by the same people that did Please Tell Me Galco-chan.
Why is this obscure visual novel getting an adaptation now?
So there was a re-release last year, but that just changes the question to why did it get a re-release last year? Because, I mean, I don't know how popular it is in Japan, but like...
Yeah, I was about to say it probably has a cult following in Japan.
It must... The only time I ever hear about it in the States is people bring it up occasionally as, like, a thing that might have influenced, like, Steins Gate. And
makes sense.
Other stuff like that.
Maybe that's also why they think they can capitalize on it, is because it is, influential on things that have become really popular.
That could very well be. Although Steins Gate's moment has kind of come and gone, but I mean,
it has, but it's still, in the States, it's one of the most well-regarded anime of that period.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, the original games are, pretty well regarded in Japan.
Yeah. The weird thing about there's a couple weird things about actually, now that I think about it. For one of them, it's a hentai game, so there's that. Obviously, none of that part is going to make it into the TV anime, so that's going to be an interesting challenge.
Sort of like the whole thing of how they had to adapt Fate Heaven's Feel in a completely different way because of the fact that one of the main characters is a sex vampire.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know how big of a role that kind of stuff plays in but...
I know Go-Go Otaku. I know that there is sex stuff in Fate, and it is hella awkwardly written.
I know, but, like, it's just odd. Like, by itself, it being a sex game isn't that weird, but that it's one from 1996 is weird.
Oh yeah, that is definitely weird.
For the Sega Saturn, which is, like, not a console most people care about.
Those sort of things did do better, like, in terms of, like, the Sega Saturn and stuff, did do better in Japan than
Well,
here.
I don't think it did, though. Like, I think the Sega Saturn was pretty much a flop everywhere. I might be wrong about that, but...
I don't know a ton about this, but if I'm not surprised... That sex game is old enough to smoke now. Oh, man. Yeah, it is old enough to drink in the U.S.
Yeah. And vote, and go to war.
As am I.
Yes.
And it is, yeah. It is of the legal age of consent in all 50 states.
Also, like, the other thing about being a hentai game, there was, like, a deluxe version that came with a fucking vibrator. So...
Oh my!
They weren't shying away from that part at the time.
Oh my!
And this was apparently... There was, like, apparently an entire series of these. It came in a can. A tin can. Instead of a box.
What Altrosian said was, Jane, sorry to interrupt you with talk of video game, but it's cool to see you actually getting better at this.
Thank you.
And I agree. I
don't know how much longer... I got an extra life! Yes...
Oh, apparently, Altrosian also says, big deal, Rez came with a vibrator.
That's true, it did come with a vibrator. Well,
What is Rez?
I think they tried to make it seem like not that, though. Rez was a rail shooter for the Dreamcast?
Yeah, Dreamcast.
kind of has a cult following because it's like really trippy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and as far as like popular rail shooters go, there really aren't that many. That's one of like the big ones that gets brought up.
Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, yeah, Altruisine is telling me to look up Res. And,
It seems like something you'd be, like, at least vaguely interested in.
Yeah,
we got to the next checkpoint. I'm so happy.
Huzzah!
Oh, fuck, it's a frog. It's Badoop.
I'm not seeing the frog, unfortunately, because somehow I managed to, Chrome all my tabs closed. Yeah.
Evil frog, my god.
Res, okay.
Every modern game system comes with a vibrator. Win.
A musical rail shooter developed by United Game Artists, published for the Dreamcast and PlayStation 2, released in Japan in November 2001, then the United States in January 2002.
Yes, that game.
Yep.
Alright, I am going to, yeah, okay, this is interesting. Let's see.
But, yeah, so that's getting an anime next year. The actual plot, pardon me, asthma's bad this time of year. What was I saying? The plot, right, is about, like, a guy whose dad gets murdered, and he gets this device that looks like a fucking, like, cross between, like, a Nokia N-Gage and a Xenomorph, and it lets him, like, travel between dimensions.
Okay.
So he, like, tries to find a world where his father is still alive, I think, is the way that that works. And also, at some point, you fuck a librarian. I don't know. I haven't played it. I probably could. I mean, I think there was a Windows version and, like, a fan patch at some point of the original.
There are some interesting, odd visuals in this.
In what?
Res.
Yeah.
Huh.
Game's trippy.
Okay.
Do we know if the frog is evil, or am I some kind of psychopathic ecosystem-destroying moth? That'll be the twist at the end of the game. We find out that we were the villain this entire time.
Clearly.
Darn it. I hate blaming the controls for anything, but the fact that I should be using a controller for this, honestly, but my keyboard, doesn't like it when I press more than 3 buttons at a time. So I'm like trying to go this way and also shoot, and it's not a fan of that.
Yeah. I need to use the bathroom now, so I'm gonna run.
Alright.
For a second. I'll be back momentarily. Don't have too much fun without me, goddammit.
Local bug kills everything.
We have fun here.
So, are you supposed to just survive until the timer runs out, or do you have to actually, like, kill them in the time frame?
That's, if you kill them within before the timer runs out, you get a score bonus. There's actually, I don't think I can open it from within the game, unfortunately, but there's actually a menu that lets you change what the cabinet says, and one of them is a, just, like, description of the controls and scoring system.
It keeps nailing you with those bomb things.
Yeah. This frog is not happy that I'm here.
He has very green eyes.
He does. The boy is frogly.
My sister says that the frog seems blue.
Little bit. Dabba dee dabba die.
Dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die.
Fuck.
One froggy boy on one froggy evening.
That's a good short.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
Yep.
Did you know that it has a sequel?
Does it?
Yes. Called Another Froggy Evening.
Huh. I did not know that.
Marvin the Martian is in it.
Huh.
Yes. It's pretty good.
Well, that's fun. What are the bees at the bottom of the screen for?
That's my bomb stock, which I should probably be using more often.
Ah.
But if I get hit, I lose the entire thing. So.
Hello.
Hello.
It's a Sredni, rather. A Jane and a Sredni.
Yes. Both of us, together, combining our powers to defeat this frog.
Forming like Voltron or whatever.
It's sort of like a spirit bomb situation. I need all the people of Earth to give me their energy.
Okay.
And then I have to make like a crouching pose and then like scream for 20 minutes.
Oh my. What is the spirit bomb from again?
That's Dragon Ball Z.
For a
Crouching
second I was
moth,
thinking
hidden
of
toad.
the spirit gun from Yu Yu Hakusho,
Similar, I think.
which is slightly different.
Like, the spirit bomb requires, like... Fuck, what is it? Like, the energy of everyone on the planet or something silly? I don't remember.
Okay.
Dragon
So
Ball Z
basically,
is,
you know,
like,
it's
very
it's
silly.
like- it's sort of like I Do Believe in Fairies, but with explosions.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually a perfect way to put it, yeah. Well done.
I kind of dig that. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is very silly,
Yes.
and it is not my cup of tea at all, but I can appreciate some aspects of it.
Ha. And so on.
Yeah.
Kakarot.
But, but overall, in terms of, like, silly shonen stuff, I admittedly prefer stuff like what, Togashi tends to do.
Tagashi.
Yoshihiro Togashi, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Hunter x Hunter.
Okay. I didn't know that was the same guy, actually, although I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, it is the same guy. Yeah, and, like, weirdly varied character designs, really wild shifts in art style to depending on the mood of the chapter or whatever. And plots that tend to get progressively darker and weirder as the story goes on.
I came to the conclusion a long time ago that I just kind of don't really like shonen.
Yeah.
Like, I like other kinds of action shows, especially in as far as anime goes. Like, I'm like an enormous lesbian, so I'll watch basically anything with the female lead. But, just I don't know. I just can't get into boys punching each other very much.
Yeah, that is fair. I think that part of what I like about Togashi is that there's like this undercurrent of like there is a lot of sincerity, but there's also this undercurrent of weirdness and like I wouldn't exactly call it cynicism, but he doesn't have like the cheeriest view on what people are like.
Yeah.
And it
You know what? I think TC is right. I think the laser does do a lot more damage. I wasn't even really thinking about that. It was just like trying to maneuver better, but...
Oh yeah, like Gogo Otaku points out, actually Togashi has worked a lot with his wife, and who wrote Sailor Moon.
Oh,
And
small
so
world.
they
Power
kind
couple.
of have influenced each other in subtle ways. And Sailor Moon has like some surprisingly deep character writing, and it kind of like goes both ways there. Yeah, like both of them are known for that. Like you'll have characters who have kind of broad personalities, but they have a surprising amount of depth.
Piss. I'm sorry, I've temporarily turned into like a Let's Player from 2008. I'm just swearing at this thing now.
Oh no.
Except I'm not screaming, so I guess it's not like 100%
Yeah,
accurate, but...
Yeah, you haven't gone full 2008 Let's Player. Thank God for all of us. You know?
I tried. I forgot what button used the bomb. I was trying to find the bomb button and I failed.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, also, yeah. Like yeah, I'm with you. Go is like, I get bored by Shonen 9 out of 10 times as well, except for JoJo's. That is fair. Although I still think that like, I like from what I have experienced of like what Araki did from like Diamond is Unbreakable on is a lot more. I really liked the first few JoJo series. That's why I was watching the show. But
yeah,
like,
but have you considered that actually I am JoJo because I defeated the frog?
Cool. Yeah, I saw you defeated the frog.
Sono Chino Sadame.
You are already dead.
Oh, that is
Fist of the North Star.
Nani?
Yeah. Oh, actually, the funny thing is that in Hunter x Hunter, there's like a little bit of a shout out to that, but it's not like super direct. And it's a much funnier version of it, but also creepier. Is when in the Hunter exam arc, the main sort of recurring villain, but not really an antagonist, Hisoka. At one point, this guy jumps out of a bush to try to fight him, and then he's like, I don't fight people who are already dead. And then he points out, I noticed that these butterflies which are attracted to blood are clustering around one of your sides, so you're apparently mortally wounded. And I'm just not gonna bother. I get your desire to go down fighting, but I'm not gonna indulge. And it's like such a dick move, but he actually straight up says the line, except instead of omae, he says kimi, which is a more casual version of you. So it's like even more like off the cuff and kind of like friendly, but also insulting.
What are we talking about? Sorry, I checked Discord for a second and kind of lost my... what I was thinking about.
I was just explaining there's a bit in Hunter x Hunter where the main sort of recurring, not quite antagonist, straight up tells a guy that he's already dead, but hasn't actually done anything. It's like the guy wants to fight him to, like, go down fighting, but he's already mortally wounded, and he notices. And he's just like, I'm not gonna bother.
Hey,
whatever.
I am going to quickly use the restroom and get another drink. I drank all the soda that the nice lady next door got for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She works at a gas station, and I guess she just like took a cup to work and filled it up using their fountain. Gave it to me earlier today. So I'm gonna go get like some water or something, and then when I come back, we will play GeoGuessr, and we will you guys should think about like what kind of map we want to start with.
Yeah.
You guys collectively.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch back to just watching directly from the Discord.
That's fine because I don't have anything else going full screen right now.
Yeah. But yeah, Like, oh yeah, and Go-Go, yeah, like, pretty much everything I've seen of Fist of the North Star is really,
What?
really silly.
What?
In a different way. It's, like, serious silly, you know?
Yo.
Trey? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. You are weirdly quiet. I am going to, try fixing that.
Yeah, it's a combination of not really having much to add and siblings.
Oh, no, I meant as in, like, on Discord.
Oh,
Like, in turn. So I'm raising your volume a little.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't really have much to add besides the obligatory, 内は死んでいる.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it was just funny when I, was rewatching Hunter x Hunter and noticed that, like, a subtle variation on that line, and it was like, just, the context was just good. It's like, you're already dead.
Yeah.
It's just, incidentally, that line comes right before another character who is, interesting and really creepy, proceeds to just kill the guy out of, as he puts it, like, why do you have no mercy, Hisoka? Like, didn't you take any pity on this man? And it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, that other character is, like, a real piece of work. I'll put it like that.
I think I got, 4 episodes or so in, and was still interested, but I just have a thing for not really being into binge-watching stuff, so I stopped, but I never came back to it. But I do intend to someday. It's a lot, but I have heard good things. My brother really likes it.
It starts out well, in that it's like, a solid shonen action series, like, unusually good for what it is. But it gets significantly better as it goes on. Like, I don't think it completely kicks into gear. Like, it has moments that are really excellent relatively early on, but it doesn't really fully kick into gear until one of the characters gets hired as a bodyguard for a mob boss's daughter. And things get really wild.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that whole arc is, it is honestly brutal. Like,
life is hard as a cat.
Oh.
We got food and water. I don't know what you're meowing about.
There is a jar of creamy Peter Pan peanut butter on the side of my bed.
There you go.
All right then.
My sister brought it up because she was eating celery with it.
Yeah.
Is that how it's gonna be now? You're too good for water that's in a dish.
Back with another one of those block rocking beats.
Yeah.
What do I get to do with you?
Bum bum ba da 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 da.
Out.
Bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum. G.I. Fuck you! No. Indeed.
They make me sneeze. But they are cute.
Hello, I return.
And
Hello.
heavily considering locking my door.
What happened?
Children.
Oh dear.
So,
An occupational hazard of being the second oldest child, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
oh, hold on. I actually have to immediately go break again because the kerosene heater just burned out. I gotta fill that back up. That'll take a minute, so I apologize. I apologize for that.
Alright.
But that is pretty
Hang
important.
in there.
It is, I think, 8 degrees outside, so yeah, I gotta do that real quick.
Man, yeah, like, it's been like that here too.
I gotta check to see what it's been like. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how cold it is out, but it is not nice. I can check right now. I shall do so. Okay, weather
I
and
know, it's 27.
where you are.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. How cold is it in Norristown? It is 14. It's going to go down to 12.
Fun.
And it feels like 14.
Yeah, no, our low is only 25.
Ooh.
Only. Gosh, cold weather is a pain.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it normally doesn't get this cold here. Like, this is pretty rare. But then again, like, I assume you're in, remind me.
North Carolina.
Yeah, I would expect that it would, generally speaking, get less cold than is normal here.
Yeah.
Which would be, like, normal here is, like, 20-some degrees in, this part of winter. Like, at worst. Like, usually it's, like, 30. Whereas, like, you can expect, like, January or, February to get into, like, the 20s or the high teens.
I imagine we stay in the higher 20s, lower 30s around this time of year when it gets, like, really cold, like, at night and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I can't recall off the top of my head what it, like, goes down to, like, regularly, though. I know that it was, like, 17 degrees last night, which was weird because it was super cold. But,
whoa. Yeah. That is not normal for that part of the U.S.
Yeah. Global warming.
Yeah. Oh, also, like, an Arctic cold front, which is not as bad as the last one that came down. A few years ago. Like, you remember that?
Yeah, I think I do, actually.
Yeah, like, TNS was talking about how, where he was, and he's in Georgia, that, like, the trees were freezing over. Like, huge icicles. And, like, limbs breaking off of trees.
Yeah, I think I was in Kentucky when that happened, like, when it was snowing and stuff earlier, this year.
Yeah. Isn't Kentucky, like, a little colder than a lot of parts of the South?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually probably more Midwestern in both, like, culture in Lexington, at least, and in, climate and stuff, because it's, like, really close to, like, Ohio and, to a lesser extent, Pennsylvania and West Virginia.
Yeah, and, Indiana, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, actually, I've heard it said that, like, the further north you go in Kentucky, the further south you get culturally because you approach Indiana.
Okay.
Maybe on the other side, but, on Lexington in Lexington, where it's like about an hour or so away from Cincinnati, it feels probably like it
Oh
could
yeah,
be in Ohio with little change.
yeah. That's like that is different because it's a long state,
Yeah,
which is like but like apparently like towards the west, like where it approaches the Indiana border, is where you get like essentially it becomes more like the deep south as you
yeah,
go north, and then
yeah.
you hit Indiana.
Like the like the one scene in Kingsman.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
I have not seen that. I I'm not sure I know. I think do I know what you're talking about? Explain the context.
Well, it's like an action movie thing where like
I
this spy dude has like goes on a murderous rampage in a church in Kentucky.
oh no.
Yeah, and it's all set to Leonard Skinner's Freebird.
Oh god.
It's simultaneously the dumbest thing ever, and it's brilliant in its execution because of simply just how raw it is.
Yeah. Like I mean, I think that like something can be something can be like exquisitely stupid, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, especially not like that. Huh.
Jane noises.
Jane noises in the distance. But yeah, like God, I'm trying to think of something that's like a good example of something that is exquisitely stupid. What's a good example?
You say Ular. This is entirely French, isn't it?
Hmm.
Improper use can cause pollution and health problems. Okay.
I'd like to think that my entire lifestyle is exemplary of exquisite stupidity.
That sounds irrelevant. Things that quickly and warm others call fire department. Do not move heater, try to smother fire, or put water on fire. Alright, so basically you're both. That's helpful. Use gasoline or fuel. Fuel heater while it's
Yawn noises.
hot.
Yes.
Okay, well you should have told me that
What was I gonna say?
No, you haven't.
I just looking at our avatars on Discord for so long has like made it clear that I haven't changed my stuff to be not Christmas anymore. But I think I'll leave it until New Year's.
Sounds like a plan. Or until Orthodox Christmas rolls around.
When is that?
Orthodox Christmas is on the 7th.
Ah,
That's around the time that Epiphany occurs in Catholicism, I'm pretty sure.
is that where the whole 12 Days of Christmas thing comes from?
Yeah.
Annoying. Very annoying.
Oh man, that sound. That is Did Jane join Einstürzende Neubauten while we weren't looking?
What?
Einstürzende Neubauten, a seminal German band, an industrial band who are known for using metal objects as percussion.
Nice.
They're still around and they still do concerts and things. And but yeah, one of their members nearly severed both his arms when he injured himself throwing a piece of sheet metal into the air while playing it.
Oh my god.
Back in the 80s.
Both literally and figuratively pretty metal.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they're one of their most famous songs is Yigong, which is subtitled Fito mein Ego. Feed My Ego, which is apparently about amphetamine use, and it has the sound of a razor clacking on a mirror like you would do to cut up lines of speed.
Nice.
And that is the sound that runs through that is essentially the drum sound on this. Clack, clack, clack. Just throughout the whole thing while Blixa Bargeld is screaming, Fitta mein ego, fitta mein ego.
This sounds very German and very interesting.
Oh yeah, it is a fucking great song. I do not know what Yugong means in Chinese. I believe, but yeah. But Fitta mein ego is much easier to comprehend if you speak any modicum of German or even English, especially in the context. Yeah.
I asked my brother Spreckensit English because he was yelling something German because he was playing Call of Duty World War II, and he didn't know what I was asking him.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
You dunking on your brother has practically become a staple of this stream.
To be fair, he roasts me on the daily while I'm here, so
that's totally fair.
It's his comeuppance.
Exactly. Just like, like he may get in the quick burns, but you get the slow roast going on. And by the end of it, he's charbroiled by now.
That is kind of how we end up rolling.
I'm gonna write a fucking book called Why I Hate Kerosene Heaters. It's gonna be written by me, and it will be available in stores when I have successfully eradicated all kerosene heaters from the face of this earth.
I'll help you write the sequel about printers because those things need to fucking go too.
Yeah, but at least printers can't burn your house down if you use them wrong.
Printers can't burn your house down, but they can burn the shit out of your wallet.
That's true. Yeah. No, but I'm not entirely sure that I filled the kerosene heater right, so if it explodes, remember me. I guess.
For the history, Altruzine, that is why we would need a book on kerosene heaters, even if they have been eradicated from the face of the fucking earth.
So no one makes the same mistake again of inventing them.
On that day, humanity received a grim reminder.
So, now that I just spent, I think, actually 20 minutes filling that thing up and then fucking with it to, hopefully not burn my house down, you guys decide on a map you want to do?
Canada!
I just realized I have to use the restroom again.
Canada!
But yeah, Canada would be good.
Canada it is.
Unfortunately, I can't see the chat, so we can't lean on Heinz's.
If you've eradicated kerosene... Oh, we answered that question already. Yeah, we'll do Canada. Canada.
I will be back in a second. Oh, this looks like generic Canada.
Yeah. And then I will check on the kerosene heater after this round is over.
Generic Canada.
Hockey.
Having fun in the woods. I will be back in a second.
Yep. Just out for a rip, are you, bud? Just out for a rip. Woder.
John.
That wouldn't stop tech bros from thinking they were making a great breakthrough. I think that's in reference to my idea of somebody reinventing a kerosene heater after they've all been destroyed. Using the sustainable, renewable resource of fire.
Something, Elon Musk reinventing the whole idea of what it means to heat your house up.
Did he do something with that, or is this
No.
a reference to something else? That wouldn't surprise me. That guy, he's
No.
an interesting individual, to say the least.
He hasn't done it yet, but I wouldn't put it past him. Gosh, and I really have no idea.
Me neither. Also, you went to space for a minute there. Oh, wait, maybe that's me. Hello.
Hello.
Hello? Oh god, I am never gonna do that again.
Hello.
Them muskies. I agree. Also, I just realized this thing still says we're playing Rush Rover, which is not true.
Yeah, ba.
Geo Guesser. No, I'm not playing Geo for the Sega Genesis.
But are you playing Sega Genesis for the Neo Geo is the question.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was flat broke, man, I couldn't picture this. I like that music video a lot because they then cut to a shot of two guys playing Super Street Fighter 2 on the couch on the Super Nintendo.
It's pretty good.
It is very good, yes. My guess is that you're in Ethiopia. I don't even know what WA is the abbreviation for. After a flood.
Eltopia, Washington?
We're in Canada, though.
We are in Canada, which is why that confuses me.
Entering Lecamel First Nation territory.
Lecamel. Lecamel.
Okay, hold on. I'm really sorry about this. I have to go, like, make sure this thing's not about to, like, explode.
Okay. Lecamel.
Washington is just South Canada. Good God.
Well, I mean, Minnesota is kind of like South Canada.
What about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin is like... And I think that people from Wisconsin generally agree.
I didn't catch all of it. That...
I don't fucking know.
I was just saying that according to Millie, and according to a bunch of people from Wisconsin, too, as far as I can tell, most of them agree that Wisconsin is just lame Minnesota.
Guys, what are the fucking flames in a kerosene heater supposed to look like?
I think aren't they red? Or not red, orange.
Well, yeah.
I presume they are Bernie.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the ones in this are, like, really short and kind of, like, splaying out a little bit from the center. I don't know. Life is hard.
I mean, it's probably not a problem, unless they are a color they shouldn't be very, very high, or, that sort of thing.
Nah, I don't know. Probably just being paranoid. I don't like kerosene heaters, especially because they aggravate my asthma.
Oh yeah, that is
Currently,
I don't have asthma, but I find that relatable.
Currently feeling like I'm standing in the middle of Beijing during rush hour.
Ooh,
What are these four people? They're like... I guess this is the mom, and she looks just absolutely peeved.
It's like... She doesn't look very old.
No.
But she is angry.
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 Not a mad scientist, an angry scientist.
I'm not a mad scientist, I'm an angry scientist.
Sid who?
Yeah, or like alternately, You know, like, so you've got an angry scientist and an insane scientist in the same room. And, you know, they just keep calling each other mad. Why are you so mad?
I was really expecting that to lead to a punchline at some point.
No, I mean, I guess they just keep asking each other, you mad, bro?
You mad?
That one picture of Cameron where he's like pointing and holding an old cell phone. It was Cameron, right, that said "you mad" on Bill O'Reilly's show. What a guy.
Postma Farms.
I'm not an expert in these things. Also, this looks, well, this stream certainly got corny.
Also, I just realized that, like,
the
Cameron
natives
comes up
call
oddly often. Yeah, the Indians call him me.
I mean, I also,
what I've heard.
like, I also routinely reference Big Black's song Kerosene, and I decided consciously not to do so this episode. Because it would feel too much like a trope at this point.
Noodles and noodles.
Sredni scientists pride ourselves on our precision. If an insane and angry scientist had a dispute, they wouldn't say you'd mad, they'd just punch each other.
This sounds like the summary to an episode of Rick and Morty.
Little bit.
And I'm completely unironic when I say that.
I'm gonna guess,
yes, Richard and Mortimer. Oh, good lord. We were in BC. CC was right.
Really?
We were near Washington.
Oh, well, that would explain, like, the fact that the area, like, there was a Q and an A with a long vowel sound, because that's like a Salish kind of thing.
Yes, I agree, even though I don't know anything about, like, Native American language families.
Well, I mean, in Canada it would be First Nations.
Aha!
But that's really pedantic.
Aha!
Arrête!
We are in Quebec, because this is in French.
Well, probably, yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
There might be some other place in Canada where they speak French primarily.
I mean, like
here,
there are the Acadians. That's a separate group from the Quebecois. And they get, like, and both groups get really snotty about who's who.
Does that say Laterno?
Yeah, Laterno. Yeah, could I look at that sign again? Get a little closer to it again?
I don't know how much. Oh, shoot, I think I accidentally went past it.
My video feed for Discord hasn't been working for a bit, so it might jump out and then back in.
Okay. Yeah, if you need to, that's fine.
Voyons. Falardeau.
We're...
Letourneau.
Yeah, that's, I guess this is where Northern Lion lives.
And we're back in.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't think that's actually, I know that's not actually true. He lives in BC, but still. That is his last name on that road sign back there.
Yeah. It's not like a super uncommon last name. Like, I've heard a couple of people with the name Letourneau.
Letournois. I see I've come in at a good time. Yes, we're looking at rural Canada. Well, this is more like suburban Canada, but you know what I mean.
Canada.
Alright, I actually...
Side,
hold on. Sorry, 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sometimes I can't believe it. I'm moving past the feeling again. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
Where is the fucking board? Here we
The finger snaps.
Yeah. Arcade
The
Fire,
singer
even
snaps.
after Neon Bible, occasionally release good songs.
Occasionally.
But yeah, the Suburbs, the title track from that album is actually quite good.
I haven't actually heard much of Arcade Fire's work besides Funeral, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Funeral is the one most people are like, you should listen to Funeral. It's like, that said, I honestly kind of prefer their first EP and Neon Bible overall. Although at the same time, I can respect Funeral a lot.
I am back.
Yeah.
I decided I would rather be cold than suffocate and possibly burn my house down, so I turned the kerosene heater off.
Yeah.
I'm going into my room after the stream anyway, and I got an electric heater in there, so it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough.
Turn it back on before I go to bed so my mom doesn't get mad at me when she gets home. What am I looking at here? You got like a mushroom house?
Wait what?
This is where Sushi lives. On the sign over there, it's a mushroom house.
The quality isn't good enough. I don't know if I can make it out.
Where who lives?
It's where Sushi lives.
Sushi!
Yes.
Wait, as in the food or a person?
The Little Witch Academia character.
Oh, her.
Yes. Mushroom.
Mushroom. Okay.
I like...
I need to get back to that show.
I like band's first EP, My Boyfriend is a Dork. Thus says, Millie.
Oh, hi, girlfriend. Girlfriend is here. That is good.
The significant other.
Yep.
Have you ever wondered if it's possible to have an insignificant other?
That would be me for basically anybody that I'm friends with.
Aww.
Oh.
I only have kid.
Oh, good God.
But yeah, like their first EP is really more like a first album. Because it's fairly long for an EP. Like, it's 7 songs and, like, I think, like, half an hour or so long. Like, it's actually album length. And a lot of those songs are from earlier, like, self-released things, so it's really just sort of a compilation of recordings that they did from that period.
An insignificant other would be Sredni. He is a tiny boy, minuscule.
What? Who say this?
Millie did.
Oh no. I am not tiny. I am 6 foot. God damn it.
Minuscule.
Oh no. God
Hey.
damn it. Am I going to have to switch over to Twitch just to, like, just respond
Defend
directly
yourself.
in the chat?
Hey, where do the smallest Lord of the Rings characters live?
Where?
Minuscule Tirith.
Oh, that is not good.
On the contrary, it's very good.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm here to heckle. Oh no.
Here to heckle.
Oh no. Oh no.
I've already been heckled by a cat today. I don't know if you guys heard Cloud yelling at me to turn on the faucet.
Oh no.
If you heard like a that was what that was.
Oh, how is Cloud doing?
She's doing fine. I don't know where she got to. Oh no, she's over there on the chair, just kind of like contemplating the ground.
Man, this Volvo was in pursuit of the Google car.
He's coming to get us, basically.
Jason.
Just start playing Hearts Barracuda. You know.
Hey guys, there's a heritage attraction over here if you want to go look at your heritage for a little bit.
Heritage.
What kind of heritage?
You know, heritage. We've got a pumpkin and a hat, 2 shoes, and a painting. Heritage.
Hit it.
Huh. Okay. Like, I'm just switching back and forth between the Twitch stream and the Discord direct thing.
Yeah.
So I can see what's actually going on.
We might have to cut it like a little bit short tonight. I'm really not feeling very well. I shouldn't have left that on.
I'm sorry.
And what pisses me off is I know what it is, too. It's not like that I'm sick or anything. It's that I had the kerosene heater running while I was, like, right here. And it's bothering my allergies, my asthma, my fucking...
everything.
Lupus that I might have. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
That wasn't a joke. My mom has lupus. It runs in the family. I don't know if kerosene can agitate that. I don't honestly even really know what lupus... Well, this is interesting.
Are we trapped in a void?
Yeah, you know.
So we're in Saskatchewan then.
Oh. We just entered eternal darkness.
Yeah, we're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, okay, that works. And yeah, Millie, you can definitely be on the show sometime.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yes, good.
We were
We'd
somewhere
love to
in
have
BC.
ya.
I don't know. I have like a
Yes.
list now of people who I am just like waiting for an opportunity to bring on the show, because Gab wanted to be on as well, and I told her she could. So I have to like remember to add all these people to the little stream server.
It's my home. Yes. The eternal void, or like.
I think she meant the eternal void, the darkness with the arrows in it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm starting to feel a little bit better now that I turned off the
Good.
kerosene heater.
Good.
Of course, now
Google,
I'm cold, but you know.
Google Street View provides excellent vistas of just about anywhere in the universe, including, but not limited to, the void.
Gaze into the void.
Gaze into the void, and Millie is like there and waves back,
just
hi.
She's chilling.
Endless field of darkness, and then just like a cat lady reading a book on a plush chair.
Yeah.
I was actually initially planning to maybe like run a little long. I was gonna ask what you guys thought about me playing a little bit of Duke Nukem on the stream, just because.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Depends on how cold it gets in here and how my allergies hold up. Because I don't have to be anywhere till like 1, so we can run a little bit long if I.
You have to be somewhere at 1?
Hey.
I made plans with somebody, is what I mean. Not physically somewhere.
Fair enough.
Trey, you turned into like the Terminator there for a second.
Oh, my pure robot form came into effect, and sorry about that.
It actually kind of sounded like the transforming noise from Transformers. You were talking, and then it was just.
Any problem?
That is exactly me. I'm glad I nailed your true form in terms of depiction. There.
But is it her final form?
God, I have no idea where in the flying fuck this is. Like, this could be anywhere on Earth.
Alberta.
That's why I don't like doing Canada. I have no frame of reference for anything. It was in BC too. Why have these all been in BC? No, this gets 1 star. Like that guy from the fucking first episode of Kill la Kill. He gets, like, demolished by Gamagori.
Yeah.
Well, we are in Myersburg.
That's very helpful.
Where's Myersburg?
Which looked like Neversburg because of the obscuring of it. Neversburg sounds like the name of a place in, like, a cartoon on, like, God, what network would air
It's
a cartoon?
WB.
Okay, fine. That works.
Noticing, like, a distinct lack of men with ridiculous hair quipping here. I wish I could do the Duke Nukem voice like LGR does. 99% of the time, I wish my voice sounded, like, massively less masculine. But there is the 1% of the time where, like, a Duke Nukem impression would be very useful.
Yeah.
In the name of love.
Actually, what would be even better is to have a normally very feminine voice that you can just do those sort of impressions.
Just Duke Nukem. But then also normally...
Well, maybe not just Duke Nukem, but also, like,
that
just
would be great,
suddenly...
though.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, just break out, like, the really weird, like, you know, low, gruff kind of voices.
Yeah.
Just, like...
Duke Nukem and Big the Cat from Sonic Adventure have the same voice actor.
Wow.
Yep. John St. John, the dude's got range.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yep.
Altrusian says, thanks to GeoGuessr, I now know that everywhere in North America looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, there's two kinds of places in GeoGuessr in North America. Either the U.S. or Canada, and somewhere in South America. And that's kind of it. Or not South America, like Middle America.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Gogo's head literally exploded. You should get that looked at.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's concerning.
Who is going to clean this up?
If your head is now like a ball of flame, then maybe it's fine because, you know, no head injuries are possible anymore. But it does reduce other people's ability to gauge whether you're being sarcastic or not.
My head turned into a flaming sphere of fire.
I was about to say one of those low voice things that would be ideal to have in that kind of situation would be a Johnny Cash impression.
Yeah, that's true.
It does make me...
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
The other fucking side of Canada.
Well, there's Myersburg.
I'm not happy with that one. Also, the thing, like, bugged out. I zoomed in too far. There we go. Yeah, fuck this round, basically.
We should try, like, Eastern Europe again.
I don't think there is one for just Eastern Europe. Oh, look.
I mean, like, just Europe in general would be fine, but Eastern Europe in particular could be entertaining.
More official maps. Canada, Australia. Specifically London seems, like, overly narrow. There's one for Russia, but that's a death sentence. Philadelphia.
Why would you want to play one that was just Russia?
Here we go. Here's one I haven't thought of before. One that's exclusively Taiwan.
Huh.
Like, I'm gonna do terribly at this, but we're gonna play this one.
Alright.
Because
okay.
I just kind of want to look at Taiwan for a while.
Visit the spicy scenic island of Taiwan.
Is that what it said? I didn't read it.
Yeah, and then immediately it looks like, you know...
Sanyo Paint Company Limited?
This kind of looks like Florida.
Little bit. I mean,
Kinda does.
It's not, but it does look a little bit like Florida. Here's a Kung Sing Plastic Machinery Company. They make plastic there.
I think it's actually, like, I'm not good with Wade Giles transliteration, but I think that's Kung Shing. Just like if it's HS, then it's a sh noise.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna conching you into next week.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Uh,
oh dear. Well, I mean, at least it's like not
that's one.
Goju Romatsu.
That's one that my grandfather used to bring out all the time. Is he'd tell him
Oh, dear.
something and he'd be like, "I'm gonna so and so you into next week." Yeah,
Yeah,
he
like
was a funny fellow.
but yeah, like at least I mean, on the one hand, like it not being in Goju Romatsu, means that you can't tell what tone it is. But then I'm bad with tones to begin with, so like,
We were in Chiai City. That gets 3 stars.
Near the Shingon township.
Yeah, and now this shot here, this looks like it's in like fucking Ireland or something.
or
That-
Scotland,
that-
really.
Specifically, that looked like the wallpaper to Windows XP.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, was that taken? I
Which
thought that was
is-
taken in New Zealand. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I think it was in New Zealand. Yeah.
Hey, look,
Um,
sea breakers. These things
yeah.
are cool. There's an
Yeah, they
area
are.
in Yume Nikki 2 that you walk through a bunch, like you're shrunk down to tiny size, and you walk through a bunch of these.
Huh.
And then you go to the beach, and there's like this gigantic thing there. It's pretty cool.
Oh dear.
I would play that on
Maybe-
stream sometime, but it crashes a lot, which is a problem.
Yeah, I remember. I think that you played a little of it and it just like went.
Once, yeah, and it crashed every time I tried to sit down on a bench.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So like but yeah, I am not great with.
These
I do
people
not
are
kn-
doing
know-
sports.
I just do not know locations in Taiwan.
Me neither. I'm literally just gonna like plunk all of these down like somewhere randomly on the island, and if we score well,
I
great.
think it's on the shore somewhere in like a bay.
Maybe like down here. Oh no, that's part
It
of
was on an
Taiwan.
island. What is the island? Zoom in.
Pengchu County. Whale Cave. I guess there
Whale
are
Cave.
whales there. That gets 1.
Huh.
Whoa. I like this building. I don't really know what. I guess it's like a garage, I guess, but I didn't know what that was for a minute there. Well, this is pretty nice looking. I would like to go here.
This is like the like what kind of? It is. There, I don't think there are good analogs for this kind of in the U.S. really.
If you wanted info on that game, would you go to the Yume Wiki? I think that's what it was actually called for a while. I have contributed some pages to the Yume Nikki 2 wiki.
I do find myself being kind of reminded of Florida again, actually.
Yeah, like this could be if you
Yeah.
stripped out all the language, you could be like, oh yeah, this is in Orlando.
I mean, but it like the architecture here is different. Is like a big thing.
Hey, you guys want to call 2337-2068 and get your piano fixed?
Huh.
Text.
Yeah. And by wavy, we of course mean, like, wasn't wavy like a slang term that meant something?
That's a Max B thing.
Waves.
Easy,
It's like, at
easy,
one
what's
point-
good?
Drama over, what the hell, fucking Kanye West was gonna name his album.
Yeah, that was specifically what I thought of.
It was...
Although, really, I was just kind of referencing the fact that the text was on a curve
Oh, yeah.
I know.
on that side.
I know, I'm just saying that, waves.
Waves.
Not to be confused with the band Waves.
Is
This
that...
conversation's getting boring.
Aw.
I've given up and now I'm on the ground.
That has to be a really bad conversation. You literally just, like, throw yourself to the ground.
Way
Yeah.
too much. They're a good band. They make good shit.
I remember, oh my God. God, sometimes when I say things, they're actually completely sincere. I sound like a total fucking stereotypical hipster. But like I knew about them when they released their first EP, I think.
Gotcha.
Like, and it was like, wow, this is kind of interesting.
In before Millie rematerializes in the chat and calls you a dork again.
Oh no.
I'm a relatively new fan. I only figured out about them when they put out their fifth
Oh,
album, I guess, which was on Warner Brothers, so it isn't really kind of indie anymore, I guess. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, but I mean, who cares?
Yeah, sure.
You know, and Witchy Win mentions the White Terror, which was a thing in
Isn't that
Taiwan.
that like a horrible political repression when a lot of people died?
Yep. Nyathis Millie is. I have been summoned, dork. But yeah, detention. Yeah, I watched LRR stream that. That was an interesting game.
What
And
is that?
also, Detention is a game based on a novel by a well-known Taiwanese author. And it is a it is a story-driven horror game that takes place during the White Terror, which was, yeah, this, like a situation in Taiwan where they were under, military rule. And there were, essentially anti-communist witch hunts.
Lovely.
Yeah, and
She
it
said
involves
with great amount of disdain in her voice.
yeah, the game involves somebody selling people out.
Cloud,
Yep,
what's
the
the matter?
The main thing I know about Taiwan, and this is gonna sound really dumb, but nevertheless it's true, is the fact that HTC is from there.
that what is from there?
HTC, the phone manufacturer,
Yeah.
and also they make VR headsets.
No, this is a toy, cat.
Oh yeah, the period of martial law lasted for 38 years.
This isn't real.
Damn. Also, it's kind of considered the Chinese government considers it part of their nation, but Taiwan itself considers itself independent.
Yeah, it is one of those weird situations where countries are only allowed to acknowledge one of the Chinas as valid.
So, I was drawn away from the computer for a second there. I don't know if you guys could hear. Cloud was bothering me and wanting me to, praise her because she, quote, caught a mouse, unquote, but it was actually just her toy that she got for Christmas.
Oh. Aww. That's cute. But yeah,
Man,
apparently from, from 1949 to 1987 was when, how long the broadest definition of the term, the White Terror, is. It's apparently it was started by the February 28th incident, or the February 28th massacre, which was an anti-government uprising in Taiwan violently suppressed by the Kuomintang-led government, which killed thousands of civilians. Ugh.
Do you guys ever wonder if, the juxtaposition between us playing video games and me talking about my cat, but also us talking about horrific historical events is, weird?
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
Anyway, I'm gonna quick use the restroom. I'm gonna try to turn the heater back on, and provided I don't choke on soot, we will play a little bit of Duke Nukem.
All right.
Alrighty.
Duke Nukem 3D. What? Yes, I know you're very proud of yourself. Yes, good job. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Okay?
Yeah.
You're silly.
But, oh yeah, as Witchuin points out, the White Terror is also a term for the mass killing, by Spanish fascists of dissidents. It's used in a couple of different contexts. I think the original context, according to Wikipedia, the oldest context is, in Russia.
Such pleasant conversation fodder.
Yeah, sorry.
It's good. You get kind of used to it as the weeks go by, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. A popular color for killings, says Millie.
God.
Second only to black. Or maybe red. Yeah,
something lame as Rob.
Red things and black things, and then you got the White Terror, which applies to a bunch of different things.
The Black Plague.
But yeah, the whole thing with the white is usually as Altruisine points out, white is usually associated with a lot of czarist groups. Oh, okay. Millie is going to go shower, she says. So yeah, have fun getting clean, dear.
Later.
To you. Black usually refers to. Nyatha Skuriel is Millie's Twitter and Tumblr handle.
However, I cannot play with you right now.
But yeah, as Altruisine points out, white is the czarist conservative kind of color, but also referred to the Republican armies during the what is it called, the battle between the Bolsheviks and them, the Civil War. Red is usually communist or socialist groups, and black is associated both with anarchists and with the Black Hundreds pogroms in Russia. The Black Hundreds were basically like clerical fascists, sort of proto-fascists in a way. Yeah, two of the White Terror, and as Witchuin points out, two of the White Terrors involve the murders of leftists. It's usually, if I'm not mistaken, associated with crackdowns from the right wing on left wing groups.
Not a fan.
Oh my God, Altruisine. Yeah, only Baathists can stand against the Black Hundreds. Oh dear Lord. The bath. Oh my.
Alright. Only atheists can stand against the Black Hundreds. What are you guys talking about?
Follow for more Arab socialist humor. The Black Hundreds were a group, as I was saying, they were, a group during the Russian Revolution who were, these really hardline, ultra conservative, like borderline fascist, sort of religious militias.
Right.
And fair enough. Sredni, I think the joke has passed beyond explainability. Fair.
Well, we're gonna play Duke Nukem 3D, developed by 3D Realms via Apogee. Let's see if I can actually get this captured. No, apparently not via the game itself. That would be too simple. What about a window capture? Duke 3D build 1281109. That's useful to somebody, I'm sure.
Probably.
There we go.
Woo-hoo. Woo to the fucking who.
This is the old re-release, which you cannot buy anymore. It was replaced, or is this the new one? I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah. Hold on, let me get my stuff up. It's up. Alright.
So, okay, I'm not... Duke Nukem 3D is one of the last good ones, isn't it?
Duke Nukem... I would argue that Duke Nukem 3D is like the only good Duke Nukem game.
Okay.
It depends on how much you like DOS-era platformers for the other ones.
Yeah, but what I do know is that Duke Nukem Forever is not.
I have actually played Duke Nukem Forever. It is... It's a video game. I think that's about the nicest thing I can say about it. I mean, I shouldn't act like it's like the worst game ever made, because it's not, but, the thing about Duke Nukem as a character, is that... Oh, fuck, hold on.
What? Something just happened.
What?
I
That's an actual mouse. Certainly sounded like you did. Hold on. This is
Oh,
not
dear.
what I wanted to be dealing with while still live at 11:30 at night. Where is it?
Oh my god. Well, 12 o'clock at night, actually. Shit. Yep, just hit midnight. Yep.
Yes, very good.
This stream is brought to you by Problems.
and the letter V.
V for vanillin.
You tried.
What?
I mean, it's like... I don't think that there's any vendetta going on here.
Remember, the 5th of November. The something rabble and rot.
Yeah. The gunpowder treason and plot.
The gunpowder treason and plot. There we go. Rabble and rot, treason and plot, same difference. Pause menu. New game, save game, load game, options, main menu, click to click to desktop. Nukem.
Hello.
Hello.
Wongus.
Wonga.
So... I thought I heard my cat, like, attacking an actual mouse, but I don't...
Yeah, you said.
I don't see it anywhere, and I don't know I don't know, maybe I heard something else. I don't know. The problem with our house, there's so many freaking nooks and crannies that something like that could be hiding in. So, I don't know. Unless she, like, catches it and delivers it in front of me, I'm not going to be able to find it. In which case, I will probably cry, because I like mice. But, anyway.
I have grown to have, like, less fond feelings of mice than I used to. There are cute mice.
Oh my god, you know what? I'm an idiot. I think
What?
that sounds in the game, I think.
Oh.
Maybe? What is making that? Do you guys in the stream hear like a weird how would I even describe it? Like a weird screeching noise? Like a
That does seem like a... Oh, your health. Nice.
Incredible. Also, to answer your question from earlier, this is actually probably the 2016 re-release of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
And my reasoning behind saying so is probably because Gearbox was at the front of the logos that showed up at first.
Yeah, that's true. Which means we also have the like mediocre extra episode they did in here somewhere, but I'll save worrying about that for some other time.
But okay, what you were saying about Duke Nukem Forever?
Yeah, I've played it and it's not very good. That's kind of the gist of what I was getting at.
But I mean, like, in what ways? I'm curious.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I keep thinking that my cat is attacking a mouse, but it's not. It's her toy. And that, combined with the screeching noise I'm hearing occasionally, is, like, really throwing me for a loop.
Oh yeah, that is understandable.
I hope the game audio is, like, audible, or else I'm gonna sound like an absolute madman. But, so, the thing with Forever, you know how, people kind of make a, distinction between, like, older and newer schools of FPS design? Where,
kinda.
you know, your older ones, like Doom
Regenerating
with,
health.
yeah.
The way that aiming works, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, the thing with Duke Nukem Forever is that it kind of tries to bridge that gap, both in terms of design and in terms of how the story is told, and it doesn't really do it.
Okay, yeah, that's an understandable issue.
Like, Duke Nukem is kind of only funny as a character, and really only debatably to begin with, but, when he's, like, only saying a few lines per episode,
oh yeah,
like, you know, he has stuff he'll say when he picks up certain weapons or when he interacts with something, or,
yeah.
You know.
As opposed to having, like, scripted, long-form dialogue.
And the problem with Duke Nukem himself in Duke Nukem Forever is that they try to make him like a character instead of just kind of a vehicle for funny jokes that are only sometimes actually funny. And, like, the core of the character is the same, but the humor doesn't work as well when you extend it over, like, an entire cutscene or whatever. And, like, because what was shocking in 1990 just came out in 96?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It might be earlier or later, but what was shocking in 96 is not what was shocking in 2011 when it actually came out, they kind of tried to up the ante on the like shock humor a little bit, and it just kind of comes across as crass, which is also true here, but here it sort of seems like it's being dumb on purpose. Whereas
Yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever, I kind of get the sense that it doesn't know how dumb it is.
It's like a self-awareness type of thing.
Yeah, like there's basically no self-awareness in Forever at all.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
kind of the impression I got. Yeah, it's like that it is trying very hard to be edgy and not being self-aware about how dumb that is.
Balls of steel.
Duke, I'm giving you an opportunity here. There's a thing you're supposed to say when I interact with this, and it's not working.
Alas.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay. Large medkit.
Yeah. Again, I think the character is kind of funny when he's just, like, only saying a few things per level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There is this really great line at the start of the second, like, episode, like, second, series of levels. And I think what happened is that John St. John read his cue card incorrectly. Because the line he says is, and this is, great video game dialogue here. He says, "Nobody steals our chicks and lives." But he says it in a way where he almost sounds kind of confused. And it makes it a lot funnier than if he had read it correctly, in my opinion.
Nobody steals our chicks and lives?
And lives? It's really good.
Because, like, how do you interpret that in context?
Well, the plot of this game is that alien invaders are stealing Earth's women because they need them for some reason.
Mars needs women.
That kind of thing, yeah.
Just like, sort of like, Santa Claus versus the Martians, except with babes.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, but not as wonderfully terrible as, Santa Claus versus the Martians.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Santa Claus versus the Martians?
No, I definitely have not. I'm just kind of...
There is an excellent Mystery Science Theater episode in which they watch Santa Claus versus the Martians.
It sounds like a time.
It is one of those 50s low-budget family movies. And it is real not good. Oh, wait,
this game.
I don't think that short a time will get us, thrown off of Twitch.
No, she's wearing clothes. It's fine. I don't think there is any actual nudity in this game. I've never come across any. I think there is some in Forever, if you, do a bunch of stuff, but, again...
I feel like that's too much effort.
Yeah.
For very little payoff.
The thing then is that you've spent a bunch of time playing Duke Nukem Forever, which,
Yeah.
There goes your money.
He does reference Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, though, at one point. So that's pretty good.
I mean, okay, that's like... That is one good joke. One good joke.
It's not really a joke.
I'm bringing Sexy back.
That's all that it is, yeah. That's what he says.
But it's still fine. That is good, at least. Mighty Foot engaged.
It says that every time you use the melee attack, which I really enjoy.
That is good. That is good.
You'd think with the fairly... One of the reasons people like Duke Nukem, the game, is that it actually has one of the first attempts at a semi-realistic level layout. Like the levels are meant to be real spaces that you can navigate logically as opposed to just like a series of rooms thrown together.
Yeah.
But I still get lost in this game constantly, and I think it's not the game. I think it's me. It's like even on these levels, which I've played many times before.
I'm just remembering the running sort of thing with watch and play. You know, Alex commenting. You know, the whole thing of that, like when you're like playing a really terrible game, and it's like, has this person ever been in an actual house before? Or
Yeah.
a building?
Well, like I'm of the opinion that level design doesn't necessarily need to be realistic.
No. It doesn't have to be at all. It's just that there are certain contexts in which it's clearly pretending to be, you know, it's like clearly, you know, you're supposed to be in a house, and then it's like, this doesn't look like a house designed by a person who's ever been in a house.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of early 90s FPSs, including Quake, which this was kind of competing against, they have like a weirdly sort of surreal level design. Like,
well,
like the individual rooms will make sense from like a game design perspective, but they won't like form together in any logical fashion. Marathon and Doom are like that as well.
Yeah, like, but in each of those games, there is, like, actually like, I think part of the difference is, like, in those sorts of games and in certain other games in that vein, is that that's sort of almost part of what little story there is often plays off of that. Like, especially Quake. Like, Quake very much runs in that lane.
Yeah, because Quake, you've been... Actually, what is the plot to Quake? I don't even remember. You've been transported to an alternate dimension or something?
Yeah, and there's, like, little bits of other worlds in there. You're essentially in hell.
Yeah.
And,
also, like, related note, id Software, not great at coming up with new plots.
Yeah.
First-person shooter from id Software. You're in hell, and also it's space. Second first-person shooter from id Software. You're in hell, and also it's medieval, and sometimes also space.
And also vaguely, well, I mean, there's like specifically a Lovecraftian vibe. The part of the thing was that originally Quake, I saw a thing, I believe, that LGR did about
this. It was originally supposed to be an RPG. And,
like a fantasy RPG with kind of an interesting setting, but like, nonetheless.
Go on.
To be fair, two of them are in hell, and one of them is in Germany.
That's true. You know,
Nazi Germany, isn't it?
I forgot about Wolfenstein, which is not unlike forgetting about Dre. But incidentally, the original Wolfenstein is a great example of a game that was very influential in its day. Has absolutely not held up at all. It's like extremely dull to actually play Wolfenstein 3D for more than a couple minutes.
Oh, and that's sort of why like a Super 3D Noah's Ark is not particularly interesting.
I mean it's Wolfenstein with different skins.
Yeah, although it is kind of entertaining to watch because of how they get around the violence.
Throwing fruit at animals to feed them.
Yeah, and like bird seed and things, and they fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's honestly adorable, but it's really doofy.
The first FPS by id was Catacomb, which is about a wizard in a maze. I don't think I've ever even heard of that. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Well, those like wireframe dungeon crawling games were pretty popular.
A Wizard in a Maze? Isn't that Pathways into Darkness?
Pathways is that's by Bungie, and that
but conceptually that sounds very similar.
No, in Pathways you're a marine, being sent into an ancient Mayan, I think, temple to set off a nuke to temporarily stun an ancient Lovecraftian god.
Which game is this again?
Pathways into Darkness.
Ah, okay.
Bungie's first game.
Yeah. Well, it was their first FPS. Their first game, I don't know why I know this, was a clone of Pong called Gnop.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Nop.
And then they had like a couple more in there, but not anything anybody cares about.
That's reminding me of how there is there are two bands, which I think have actually may or may not have done stuff, like, not in collaboration, but, like, on splits, called, Gnod and Gnob, which are, like, Gnod, I don't know the story behind their name, but, Gnob are a stoner metal band, and it's just bong backwards.
That's pretty good.
Bong and Dong?
Well, I mean, like, with Gnod, I don't think it's actually dong backwards. They're kind of not a more serious band than that, necessarily, but they're, like, kind of a weird experimental band who are sort of hard to pin down. And it might stand for something, I don't know.
Okay, I would like to point out that this is my least favorite part of Duke Nukem is these fucking button puzzles.
Yeah, that looks stupid.
You each have to, like, guess what the correct order is to push them down.
Wow.
Here, let's try this. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one, so it's at least 2. There we go.
Alrighty. Excuse me. Oh, so you're demolishing a building now?
Yes. There's a lot of stuff
Alright.
like this in Duke Nukem where like the environment changes somehow, either halfway through the level or towards the end.
That is actually neat.
Ambition.
Yeah.
But
Oh, this
at the
one's
same
pretty
time-
minor. You just grab a key card and then go back.
Personally, I feel like with Quake, again, like the justification of, like, it is literally the universe falling apart because
Oh yeah. Yeah, like
bad juju actually lends itself to some really weird shit with level design.
yeah. I actually like Quake a good deal. I don't think I like it more than Duke Nukem 3D, but it is also
Fair enough.
a very good game.
And it's like, but I kind of like, I actually really enjoy those sorts of, like, unsettling, like, weird sort of vibes in games.
Me
And
too.
also, and like using that as a justification for gameplay things, and by, like, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be fucked up and it feels fucked up.
Another one that's real good at that is the third Marathon game, Infinity.
Oh yeah, that's another one that I am aware of. Quite aware.
Remember Ani. I know that it exists, I don't really know anything about it.
My dad actually liked that one. I think that was our first Bungie game, technically, like, even before we tried Halo.
That's pretty
Huh.
cool. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Ani's like a third-person action game, right?
Yeah, and it's very anime-inspired.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
only hard.
Like as far as I can tell, it's almost like their homage to, like, Ghost in the Shell and stuff.
That's interesting.
Oh.
I should play that one of these days. I've heard that it's good. Just kind of, like, weird.
Yeah, it was unusual, like, from what I can remember. Like, it wasn't exactly your standard type of thing, but still kind of relied pretty heavily on some of the same ideas that a lot of third-person shooters ended up doing in the early 2000s.
Excuse me.
Sredni,
So yeah.
Yes?
stop belching on microphone.
So, I just have to say that I kind of like, I find it sort of amusing, is that the demons that have stolen all the hot women's are literally warthogs.
Yeah, so the story there, I believe, is that those are actual, like, policemen that have been mutated into hog
Into
creatures.
literal pigs.
Yeah, like that's the joke.
Oh
yeah.
god, that is something.
It's pretty good.
Is
Yeah, it's like
game theory is
It's-
Duke Nukem Antifa?
Uh, uh, it.
Direct action.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could call it a particular school of Antifa.
Oh, no, like Duke Nukem is super like a libertarian. There is no other.
ACAB,
Okay,
baby.
fair. But I'm saying more along the lines of if you take it more at the most literal sense of anti-fascist, I can imagine him like punching Nazis. Just
Well,
because.
sure, like, you know. Yeah, punch almost anybody, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of his thing. I forget where the red key card is. This is gonna get annoying really quickly, isn't it? Can I, like, go back here? I don't think I can. There's a couple places in the game where you can go behind posters. You can play pool.
Yeah.
Solid game of billiards.
Mighty foot engaged. That, I just keep thinking. I wonder if somebody.
You can also
I wonder if some kid developed a really weird foot fetish from playing Duke Nukem.
Well, that thought is now out in the world, and I can't do anything to bring it back.
That would be mildly concerning, at best.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who likes Duke Nukem in that way. I'm not the person, but I'm sure that they exist.
Like, that like, has a thing for those kind of boots because of this.
Well, I meant the character in general, but maybe that as well.
I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
the bar,
like
of course.
you know, it takes all kinds, and all kinds are out there. Just, are you able to, like, just, like, you know, like, hammer down all that booze?
You can't, actually, I don't think. Let me try. No, it doesn't do anything.
Question, is Duke Nukem secretly straight edge?
Well, you can drink in forever, so if he was at one point, he no longer is.
I do think it would be funny if it's like, you know...
A sexy Duke.
The funny thing about Duke Nukem, actually, is that in the side-scrolling games, his characterization is kind of different. He like wears a pink shirt, and at one point makes a reference to watching Oprah. So there was like a demographic shift between the two games, I think.
Huh. He references watching Oprah.
Yes. I think. Hold on.
Oh.
Don't you just love allergies?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's a feeling.
yeah, I believe the exact line is something like, "I'm gonna kick your ass and still be home in time to watch Oprah." Something like that.
That's pretty good.
You can also do this. So,
oh my.
There's something for you to consider.
God.
But yeah, like just
video games.
Video game. Video game.
It's weird how Quake went from random supernatural bullshit to the Strogg. I've actually never played Quake 2. Is the Strogg like the aliens in that game? Because I know it turns into, like, alien space bang bang.
Hard sci-fi shit.
Alien space bang bang. That sounds vaguely wrong.
I don't
Feminist
remember.
masterpiece.
Oh, good lord. I don't remember how to get... Oh, I think it's through this vent, actually. There we go. Although this is a secret area. This is where the pipe bombs are. Did I just kick my pipe bomb? I didn't know you could do that.
Alien Space Bang Bang, a fanfic masterpiece from the same author as Sexy Duke Nukem.
Oh, no.
Oh, good lord.
What do you think I am, an SJW?
No.
Oh god.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Was that an actual line in Forever?
no,
No.
that didn't come out recently
That
enough
was
for that to
before
be
its time.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like right on the cusp. They could have if they were like not, you know, living in their own little world by that point. Because I think at one point, was it the Angry Video Game Nerd was on board to write part of that?
Was on the what?
I believe I might be confusing him with somebody else, but I know that at one point an internet personality was on board to write Forever, Duke Nukem Forever, and I believe it was AVGN. And they let him go from the project because I guess he was kind of trying to make Duke Nukem sort of like a Deadpool kind of character.
Huh.
Which probably would have been a lot more interesting than what they actually did.
Yeah.
That wasn't like done to death back
And
in
I was thinking for a second that
2011.
like AVG and James Rolfe, I think is his name. Like actually, I was gonna say like he does not seem like the kind of guy who would make those kind of jokes.
No, I don't think
Thank
so.
God. Like, to his credit, I'm not, like, a fan of his particularly, but he seems like an alright guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, Forever's sense of humor is, like, the fact that you can, like, purchase women for your hub level. Like, like, not metaphorically, you can literally do that.
Oh, dear.
They just kind of hang out and, like, he makes crass comments at them.
That's gross.
Yeah. And one of them is Chinese, and I'll leave the rest of that to your imagination.
Oh, God. No.
Again, like,
no.
Forever is a game with very few good points.
That is one of those things where you can't even be like, well, that is problematic. It's more like, well,
They
that
just-
is just
Yeah,
fucked up.
that's just, like, actually fucking horrible, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. You are getting pretty far for someone with only at 8 health.
Yeah.
Huh. You completed the red light district.
Yeah.
Nukem.
Oh no, do I die at the start of this level now because I don't have enough health?
Oh. Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, hold on. I can just, like, start a new game from that level. I forgot that you can do that. Hold on. Death Row.
Let's rock.
I don't have any of my weapons, though, which is kind of a piss-off. But, oh wait, never mind. You get them taken away anyway. Because he is, like, captured or something.
Oh no. And you have to, like, kick a guard a lot.
And then hope that one of them drops their shotgun so you can steal it.
Wow.
I also...
You are durable.
Yeah, I am fond of the fact that these guys' uniforms say LARD on the back.
LA. Oh. Oh no.
Because you're in Los Angeles, you see, and they're police, so...
Well, they're.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, specifically, it's LA. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
hey,
in that
there's one
case,
down
like,
here.
if it's
Okay.
it like something department would be like half the joke is because it's like a corrections, you know, it's a what is it, you know?
Corrections unit, yes. Like,
Yeah, it's it is a prison.
yes.
So R could actually plausibly stand for something, but it stands for lard.
Yeah. You see, the joke is that cops are pigs, and yeah.
And pigs produce lard.
Yes.
ACAB, baby.
uh... I know about a thing in this level.
Oh my god, you turned... Oh no! Oh no, what? What did you what? What? What did you just do?
How do you get back here? You kick the window in. Right.
You opened a portal to Satanville.
No, it's the Marine from Doom is back here.
That's one dead Marine.
Yeah. No, that's what he says when he finds the dude from Dead Space in Duke Nukem Forever. He also has the much less clever line, power armor is for pussies, when he finds Master Chief's armor.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
This is like, I mean, like, the Dead Space thing is kind of funny, but, like, just overall it seems like D-tier reference humor.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is, like, it's funny until it becomes obvious that the reason that you're writing that is because you don't know how to write actual jokes. And, if you're lucky, you'll get a pun.
Yeah.
I guess for Doom Guy, it would be
That guy's dude.
Actually, what
Something
he says is even more nonsensical. He says, Gogo pointed it out. He says that's one doomed space marine,
gotcha.
which is like
Yeah.
not even a joke. It's just...
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like almost so bad that it
That's kind of
being kind of great.
That's kind of what I meant earlier with like the self-awareness. Like, I think that they were aware that that's not a good joke. It's kind of like anti-humor almost.
Yeah,
But it's hard to
like,
know for sure. I mean,
but like but at the same time, you go around getting health from spouts of water that you get by like kicking toilets.
that is true.
Like, and you're over 100 health. I wasn't sure that could happen.
Yeah, you can get that from the atomic health pickup things. It's like the little like nuclear symbols.
All right then. So
GPU
radiation
John.
is good for you now. It's like we're back to the 50s logic. Radiation is good for you.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, that's more like 1890s logic. Like I'm gonna take an X-ray bath.
Yeah, There is also a part in Duke Nukem Forever where Duke basically sells a child steroids, which I now just remembered. So
Oh God.
that happens in that game. It's not even like it's too, other than the Asian girl thing. Like, it's mostly just too weird to be genuinely offensive. It's just kind of head scratch inducing.
Yeah, like our protagonist sold a child steroids.
Like, that's kind of like the angle that they went for is that the way the guy who wrote the game tried to explain it was, everything that Duke Nukem does and that happens in the world of the Duke Nukem game is serious to them. Like, it's serious within the context of the universe. And then the joke is that we know that it's not serious, that it's goofy. But, I don't know. Like, I just kind of don't get that vibe from Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, like it works here.
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't really. Yeah, like there's a point where it stops being.
This game is by 3D Realms. John Carmack doesn't understand jokes. Fair enough.
What does it say back there? The silence something?
Oh,
like in front of the churchy thing.
Yeah, hold on. It's like silence, discipline, and remorse. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I don't know what that means either.
It's
I don't
No,
remember.
religious virtues.
Yeah, I don't know where the key card is. I have forgotten. I last played through this level like yesterday. You think I would remember? But nope.
Achoo!
Doing
No.
a rumination.
You gotta put on your pachoos.
Well, I got my pistol back. That's good. It's really more of a machine pistol.
Machine pistol.
It's automatic fire.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but like, still, it is sort of a humorous.
It is a
concept.
It is a silly term, but not one that I made up. Believe it or not.
I know it's a real term. I know that. It is just sort of. It's like kind of just
can if you can.
Oh god, just
Steroids.
Yeah, those are the things that he sells to the kid in Forever.
Oh my god. But the can music actually comes from an opera called Orpheus in the Underworld.
That's pretty good. That's a good fact.
Yeah, it's a comic opera, but it's based on the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice.
And that's a rock fact. Anyway, I don't know. I'm lost. So, I'm gonna just I haven't done a paint thing in a while. I'll do that.
Let's do that.
Hey.
Just wait a second, because I need to check something downstairs.
Okay.
Just really briefly. But yeah.
Don't die.
I won't.
Okay, good. If you did that, I'd be down one co-host. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to. I was meant to talk at the start of the stream about how I got new pajamas and really like them, and I completely forgot to.
New pajamas.
PJ Let's Plays.
I don't have a particularly new pair of pajamas or anything like that, but what I do have is a Mike Wazowski kigurumi that one of my friends got me for my birthday, I think, during my senior year of high school.
That's extremely good.
It's pretty great.
I think we'll try to draw Mike Wazowski from Monsters Incorporated.
Alrighty. That sounds like a plan. I was going to ask my sister to do something about the dog, because said dog, Doge, is going ballistic. Well, was. But I realized she's asleep and I didn't want to wake her up.
Disrespect your surroundings!
Oh dear.
Sorry.
But yes, pictures exist of me in said Mike Wazowski kigurumi. It's pretty good.
I think I might have
even
seen one of said pictures, now that I think about it. Did you post one on the photo thread on the forums at some point?
Yeah, probably.
Or on Tumblr, maybe.
Probably both, honestly.
Gotta take a picture.
But what was I gonna say? But yeah, I do not relish the idea of walking the dog at 1 o'clock in the morning in single-digit degree weather.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Actually, I have to go periodically check on the breaker box, which is in my brother's room at the other end of the house.
Ooh, ouch.
And the thing is, they're not home right now. They're with their dad. So there's no heat or anything on in there. And also that room is drafty because the windows are kind of not installed very well. So I went in there and there was a layer of frost an inch thick on the windows.
Jeez.
It's
Incredible.
that. It's that cold out. I have the kerosene heater blazing now, and I have for basically since we started playing Duke Nukem, and it's it's not freezing in here, but it's not really warm either. It's
understandable. In my house, I don't think I don't think there's anywhere that's that cold, because, like, the house is stone, so when it gets warm enough, then it's reasonably well insulated.
The house is stoned.
Not stoned, Jane. Stone.
What is Mike Wazowski's mouth like? I don't remember. He just had like a regular
It is
normal
like
dude
a,
mouth.
it is
right?
like a line.
Like a lion? Right.
We'll make it a line, yeah.
Do like, yeah. That's Mike Wazowski. Hey there, it's everyone's favorite Monsters Inc. character, Mock Wazowski.
Don't forget his horns.
Is that like, Here Comes Sonic?
Yes, that's what we're doing here. Actually, he almost looks more like somebody like chibified Shrek and then removed one of his eyes. He's a good boy. I like him. So
He comes,
Mike Myers
comes
Wazowski.
He's a demon on wheels. Why did I start singing that? I don't know.
you guys ever like contemplate Monsters Incorporated?
Yes.
Uh,
A lot, actually. It's one of my
oh
favorite
no,
Pixar
are you
movies.
going to draw sexy Randall?
I'm not going to draw sexy what?
The villain
Sexy Randall.
from Monsters Inc. Who
The
like
head shape almost...
a surprising number of people find very attractive.
Do you mean... I haven't seen Monsters Incorporated in like 10 years. Do you mean like the weird spider guy?
The
Was
weird
he-
snake guy.
No, that's Water News. Randall is the one that blends into his like environment. He can turn invisible.
Oh, he's like a
Weird
chameleon
multi-
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multi-layered chameleon dude.
Voiced by Steve Buscemi. Also, your bird kind of looks like Pun Pun.
He does look a little bit like Pun
Oh.
Pun. Okay, I gotta remove the eye now, like the little dot that I put on the eye, because I need to make him look like Pun Pun now.
Oh my.
Okay, my knowledge of Pun Pun is pretty minimal, but I think I can make it work. Here we
Like
go.
a really small beak. Oh Yasumi, oh Yasumi, close your
There we
eyes
go.
and leave this stream.
It works.
Oh Yasumi, oh I know that it's hard to do.
Somebody. Because I said earlier that Mike looked like Shrek. I get it.
Oh my, but yeah, like that, yeah, that, yeah.
What is a smash mouth?
I don't know. I guess it's like a reference to getting punched. But I don't know. It's a mouth, I think. What are you doing?
It's a smash mouth.
Well, the years start coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
So,
Somebody
Some-
once told me the world was gonna roll me. I
No,
ain't
could-
the
could-
sharpest
could we-
tool in the shed.
could we, like, go with just a marginally deeper cut and be like...
What about Walking on the Sun? I actually really
I was
like that
about
song.
to say, exactly.
So don't delay.
Act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive. 6 to 8 years to arrive. Oh, Trey, you stop singing.
And if you follow, there may be a tomorrow, but if the offers shine,
You might as well be walking on the
On
sun.
the sun. Yeah,
That song is
Like-
like odd.
legitimately good also.
It is very good, yes. I actually
Yeah, so-
also like All Star for the most part.
I mean, yeah, but it's
Kind
like,
of overexposed, but it's still a good song.
yeah, it's like Walking on the Sun hasn't been memed to death.
That's true.
And it also is actually more interesting lyrically. Well, it's
It's like about nuclear proliferation or something, isn't it? It's like
yeah,
something
it's
about
a
the Cold
very-
War. I don't know.
It's an odd song.
They also have a song called Pacific Coast Party, which is about partying on the Pacific Coast.
It was also in Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, and it was uncensored, which surprises me considering that the word bitch is used.
That's really great. That's really great.
Oh my. Whenever the Pacific Coast is mentioned, I think of Sonic Youth's Pacific Coast Highway, which is an odd little song.
Is it as odd as Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth?
Probably arguably more. Like, at one point I think Kim Gordon plays trumpet on it.
Only arguably, though.
Like, I mean, it has Kim Gordon playing trumpet on it. That's generally a sign that this is an odd Sonic Youth song.
You know what's also a good song from the 90s that's kind of become a meme?
What?
1 Week.
Oh. Bare Naked Ladies are a...
You got a drumstick and your brain stops ticking? Watching X-Files with no lights on? I hope the Smoky Man...
Bare Naked Ladies are a kind of underrated band overall.
They're a strange group. I don't know many of their songs, but the ones I do know, I think are pretty good. That's supposed to be the moon, by the way, to give you an idea of how terrible my drawing skills are. Let's draw a frog.
Froggo.
Disclaimer, this will not look anything like a frog.
Hi, Froggo.
Frog's got like that weird little ridge back there. Yeah, definitely. See, if I hadn't drawn the sun over here, I could give him some cars to avoid, and then we'd have Frogger going on.
You can make the cars really tiny, and, like, you know, have, like, a caption saying, "Who's the boss now?"
I don't think I have enough room to do that.
I mean, if you write in really fine, you know, like, lines.
You know, I'm surprised that Sugar Ray hasn't been memed yet. Really.
Yeah, I mean...
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the wooden post up on my girlfriend's bed.
Yeah, and also, like, even just, like, conceptually being memed on because of the fact that they started out as a nu metal.
That's true. I forgot about that. You know, that's another group that I happened to was, what was it, Crazy Town? The guys that
Crazy
did...
Town are one notable example of a band that had, like, a non-nu metal single while being a nu metal band that got really big. But at the same time, they mostly stayed a nu metal band.
Well, no, they had that song where they tried to be, like, basically be Puff Daddy, too, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, Revolving Door.
But Sugar Ray had, like, a way more extreme change.
That's true.
And then, like, there's another example of that would be... Oh, crap. My brain just, like... Oh, Hoobastank.
Hoobastank were a nu metal band?
Well, they were actually a ska metal band.
That's even weirder. Also, did you know that Kanye West is in the video for The Reason?
What, really?
Go watch it. I'm not making that up.
I just want you to know.
Oh my.
I don't know why he's in the video for that song, but he is. Kanye West has done a lot of interesting things over the years.
Yeah.
He's a strange boy, but I wish him the best.
Yeah. Just like,
Crazy Town put out an album in 2015. That is true.
Oh, right.
I know that from watching God in the Shadows.
I forgot about that despite having seen that episode more than once. But just like, wow, okay. Kirby.
E-Brick.
E-Brick. E-Brick.
E-Brick.
The stream is going out of control. Is that a pun, Win? Oh, hey, do you guys remember the Counting Crows?
Yeah, I remember Counting Crows barely.
They had songs. I don't remember any of them, but
They're-
they had. Well, no, they had.
I,
They had Mr. Jones and Me. I remember that one.
yeah, I remember them being, like, just boring.
I remember
Mr.
that-
Jones and
I
Me.
remember the joke on Full House where Michelle couldn't get their name right more than the actual band itself.
And then, like, Counting Crows should not be confused with Stone the Crows, who were a...
Or Casting Crowns. who
Okay,
are also
so-
completely different.
Bands that are not the same: Counting Crows, Casting Crowns, Stone the Crow, Stone Sour, the Rolling Stones, Roll Over Beethoven. That's a song. And
Stone Roses.
and the Black Crows.
Oh, yeah, and if we're...
Black Angels.
And Old Crow Medicine Show.
Angel Dust.
Angels and
Angel
Airwaves.
Dust is a band, but
Black Crow King for the Old Crow Medicine Show and Stone the Crows.
Wagon Wheel. Wait, that doesn't... No.
Wagon Wheel is a song by Lou Reed, I know.
I think that's also a bluegrass band, but I'm not 100% sure.
I will be your wagon wheel. Spoke, spoke.
I'll be your wheel, spoke the spoke.
Yes, it is a humorous song in that respect.
Do you ever think about wheels? And how there's a big wheel that keeps on turning? On the
Rolling
simple life,
on the river.
on the simple life, day by day. And as the earth spins on its axis, one man struggles and another relaxes.
What are you quoting?
That's The Big Wheel by Massive Attack.
Ah.
It's a very odd song for a lot of reasons. But I have misplaced fondness for it because I listened to it a lot when I was like a teenager.
I mainly remember, in terms of stuff from my teens about Massive Attack, is that that Angel is essentially one of the earliest dubstep songs in the old school sense of dubstep.
Yeah, that was on Mezzanine or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
that album with the beetle on the cover was called.
Angel.
I only really like. I'm kind of in a weird spot as a Massive Attack fan because I only really like the first record.
Huh. Like, oh god, I'm trying to think of, like, bands where I only actually like one record of theirs. Oh, my favorite emoji is here!
Eggplant. I send your bitch that purple pickle. Actual Migos lyric.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they just, like, don't know what an eggplant is or if they thought it would be funnier, but either way, that's a really
I
good
think
line.
they think that it would be funnier.
I
Well,
I
think
think
about-
you're right, but I also, like, really hope that they didn't know what an eggplant was.
the closest thing you can get to an actual pickle emoji is the cucumber one, and on iOS it's cut into pieces. So you don't want
No!
that. So yeah, you gotta go with the purple pickle, which is unmolested.
That's, yeah,
Sometimes.
I mean, I guess that, like, the eggplant, it's, like, less length, more girth.
Less length, more girth.
Kinky.
Less length, more girth.
This is maybe not the raunchiest stream overall that we've had, but I think that's the raunchiest comment I've made on a stream.
Less length, more girth.
More girth.
Oh, you gotta fit it all in somehow.
Oh god, Trey, really? You've outdone me. KO. Fatality.
That was Shapes and Forms. We went an hour over this week because I felt like doing Keep It 300 Like the Romans. That's another really good rap lyric. That one's by Kanye West.
300 girls, we're the Trojans.
Well, the Trojans are off fighting the Greeks.
Wrong kind.
No go-go is, have you ever had sex with a... I'm sorry that I know this, by the way, but I've listened to Monster enough times.
Have you ever had sex with a pharaoh? Put the pussy in the sarcophagus.
Yes, he says he
Now
will...
Now she claiming that she bruised her esophagus.
What?
Oh, easy.
Oh God, something about esophagus and what? Something esophagus.
He says that he basically says he's going to mummify your vagina.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Monster is just a very strange song in general. Bon Iver is on it, and also Jay-Z starts his verse by just listing literal monsters.
Okay, that's
Rick Ross shows up for 5 seconds and calls himself a fat motherfucker.
He does. He does do that. Oh no, Monster's like a very good song. It's just also really odd.
And Kanye wants to mummify your vagina. Isn't Monster also like there's a Nicki Minaj version?
Yes, yes, that's the one that's
one of
like
the best verses that she's ever made.
yeah. Money's so tall that my Barbie's gotta climb it hotter than
the Middle Eastern climate.
Yeah. First things first.
Tony Matahan, Dati Wainet.
I'll eat your brains. And then I'm gonna start rocking gold teeth and fangs. And then, like I said, Jay-Z's verse begins with, he just goes, Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong.
Oh my god. I mean...
It's a good song, though. It's got some interesting parts to it.
Yeah. I just wow. All right. Wow. But so eggplant.
If somebody were to just stumble
like
upon this
more girth.
stream, if someone were to just stumble upon this stream and see this image devoid of context, and hear us talking about seminal Kanye West single Monster, I think they would probably leave and then never come back. And I don't know that I'd blame them too much.
I think that there would be at least a few people who would arrive to this and would be like totally okay with it.
Those are the two options. Either you leave in terror or you say, finally, I've found my people.
Yes, exactly.
So what if we
have
covered?
fun here.
What have we covered on this episode? Like
Technology, eggplant emojis,
The White
Duke
Terror,
Nukem,
yeah,
Duke Nukem,
war crimes, Taiwan,
yeah.
Quake.
See, this segment's good because I always like put a little thing on the bottom of the description of the VOD about what we talked about, and I can never remember what we talked about.
And my dog finding a deer leg.
Yeah, we
Christmas
did talk
gifts.
about that too. Christmas
I
gifts.
think that would be actually a pretty funny name for the VOD. Deer leg.
Deer leg. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that was Shapes and Forms. We ran a little long this episode because, I don't know.
The song is awful long, but it's a pretty song.
It is.
And the DJ, and they played it twice because the DJ was asleep on the radio.
On the radio. Radio Laser 558. Yes.
Yeah, like a gratuitous
only
Regina
alternative.
Spektor reference. That's always good.
Alright. But yeah, you can find us here pretty much every Friday from at least 9 to 12. Sometimes we go longer. If you'd like to be notified of when I go live, you can press the follow button, and if you'd like to support the channel financially, you can subscribe either with your own money or via Twitch Prime and let Amazon foot the bill. Steam felt the need to tell me that Section is now playing Fist's Elimination Tower. That's a good game.
Good.
Yeah, and tomorrow I will be streaming also. We're going to be finishing up Kirby's Adventure for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And we're probably going to be starting Super Mario Land 2 DX, which is a touched-up hack of the seminal Game Boy game that puts it in color and lets you play as Luigi. Which is a nice little thing. It was released by by a hacking group as like a Christmas present to the world, I guess.
Oh, that's kind of reminding me of normal Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, but like still kind of weird because Super Mario Land is just kind of odd, but that's why I like it.
Normal Super Mario Brothers is the name of a series of really bizarre ROM hacks of Mario games.
Word.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes. Will I be streaming with CC? Yes. Yes, I will be. She will be there.
Yeah, at one point in one of the, I can't remember which one of the normal Super Mario Brothers, you run around in like reverse gravity and run on Shigeru Miyamoto's head.
That sounds pretty good. I'm gonna have to look into those. Were they for Super Mario World for the SNES?
I can't remember. It might not be a ROM hack. It's like some weird, unofficial,
like a fan game.
Like a really bizarre, elaborate fan game. Or set of fan games, rather. There's 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Actually, speaking of fan games, the other thing we considered playing, and if SML doesn't work out for some reason, I still do this, was Super Mario Black Candles, which is a fan game by a acquaintance of mine that I believe both of you definitely also know in the Bollocks team.
Yeah, Imaplex, yes.
Cow.
The Cowboy.
Yep. Yeah.
The Cow Space Boy.
Actually, maybe we'll play that instead. The point is, we're eventually going to play both, but it's just a matter of which we get to first. But yeah, that's our stream for the evening. If I don't stop myself at some point, I'm just going to keep talking until the cows come home.
Cows.
Cow, and I was talking about That
is something, yeah.
I made a joke.
KO and
the eggplant, yes.
And just like, remember, it's, greater girth, lesser length.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Later.